So good night of sports. Big night for the university. Big. I don't even know where to start with this, to be honest with you, but huge afternoon, I guess is what I should say, for Dawn Staley in South Carolina basketball. Preston. Uh, I was trying to look up ESPN Hoop Girls, the rankings, but Joyce Edwards makes her commitment to the University of South Carolina from right down the road here in town, from Camden. It just goes to keeping the home state talent is pivotal, and once again, Dawn Staley does it with the addition of Joyce Edwards for South Carolina.
The idea to have three McDonald's All Americans within a 20-mile radius.
That's another good point,
we'll
by
get
the
to that
way.
here short. I want to get to that here shortly, but the idea not only for them to be here, but then for them to stay here is something that I think is really, really interesting. And I wonder if it's a product of the success that they've been having already because it's incredible.
I really have not thought about it on the level you said of the talent of high school talent that is around her. Joyce Edwards, according to ESPN Hoop Girls, the number two player in the country, only behind Sarah Strong of Grace Christian Sanford in North Carolina. Joyce Edwards, and she commits to South Carolina yesterday, and a huge day. I mean, that's still South Carolina's landed some huge. Asia Wilson was number one.
She was all right.
Not a bad player. But it just continues to go to show you what Dawn Staley has built, continues to build. I don't is it already built? I say continue to build, but I'm thinking there's more that she has to do, right?
It feels like it. It feels like there's a second, third, fourth wave. I don't even know what wave we're on, but it seems like there's going to be another iteration of dominance where you see when you see dynasties that happen, there's always different sort of forms that take shape of them, and this is probably it.
Not to be outdone, Lamont Parrish yesterday gets a commitment last night from Eli Ellis, a four-star point guard out of Moravian Prep in North Carolina. Chooses the Gamecocks really over Wake Forest and Charleston and a few other schools there. And the thing I really, really am enjoying, and this is odd, I feel like I'm enjoying, I don't want to say the wrong reasons, but I feel like I'm enjoying it because I see maybe it's age. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I see what Lamont Paris is trying to build. Like I can visualize the team he wants with his recruiting, and I think that's really cool. And he picks up 6'1" point guard Eli Ellis last night. Again, a four-star prospect on a couple different websites. Really cool, good get for him as well.
Yeah, as I'm wont to do often when I'm looking at recruits, because if I don't know much about their actual game, I just look at them and I saw Eli. First thing I noticed was his haircut, nice faded up haircut with the curls at the top. Immediately thought, oh, this kid can shoot. Immediately thought, oh, this kid's a shooter. A lot of confidence to wear that haircut. So, and he wears an undershirt.
Oh, you like the undershirt?
I don't know if I like Paris, it. I just
the
know
old
it's a
Lamont
choice.
Paris undershirt, as he said.
I just know it's a choice. Wearing an undershirt in 2023 is a choice. So I'm on board with this guy.
So a very good night for South Carolina basketball, both men's and women's. We'll get into more of that tonight. Women hosting Clemson over at Colonial Life Arena. We'll discuss that a little bit this morning. We'll get into a few other things as well. Obviously some football things to get into. And I have to ask Preston, did you hear the Darude interview? Have you at least gone back and been able to listen if you didn't catch it in real time?
I heard the parts that were posted on our on the social medias. I have questions.
Good. I would like to hear another perspective of that because I did as good as I thought I could do. With the information I had working in front of me, I thought I handled it as well as I could do. And I feel like you're gonna want to address some things on that.
I have some questions.
All right, we'll get into all of that.
Will Darude make our top 10 guest list? Yeah. He's never coming back, Bill. You don't have to be.
No, I'm gonna fight to have him back. I want to know because he doesn't know what he's walking into. I don't know if you caught the whole interview where he's like, "Yeah, fans want to interview, high five me, I'll high five." I'm like, dude, I don't think you know what you're walking into, my man. What do you mean if fans want to high five you?
He thinks he's going to like a little gym or something.
I don't think he knows what he's walking into. Like,
I don't know, man.
He tried to play it off like, oh, yeah, this football thing, I've tailgated at home before. I'm like, yeah, you tailgated at home, big boy.
Darude, he's like, man, I play these festivals in Europe with 500,000 people. This is nothing to him. He hasn't seen this yet. I'm curious.
I do want him back for next week.
Like a debrief?
For a follow-up on, yeah, because I'm pretty sure they don't have towels at these festivals, just to start.
They have a lot of...
And to be dead honest, too, I think the festivals know more than one song. I'm assuming they know more than one. Therefore, I'm wondering at this pregame concert how many times Sandstorm's going to be played. Because
there's nothing worse than when you go to a concert and the person you go to see is like, all right, you want to hear some new things? You're like, no.
Well, he did say he just came out with a new album.
You're like, no, I don't. You want to hear some new stuff we were working on? No.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Sandstorm's played the very first, in the middle, and at the very end. We'll get into a lot of that this morning. Gamecock Larry also wants to talk. We'll let him talk as well. If you want to talk, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100, Firehouse Subs text line or the Love Chevy phone lines. As always, you can hop on our live stream. We're live there. DC, Joe, Bryce, Anthony, all up and Adam. Yep, DC saying big shout out, Preston Langston, for going to Centerville yesterday. The kids enjoyed y'all's company. He'll be sending pictures on the text line, which now makes me wonder, okay, well, that's good. And Brian on there as well. Sandstorm, more Sandstorm. Yeah, just all Sandstorm at the concert. Just an hour and a half of just, let's run it back. More Sandstorm.
Yeah.
We'll get to all of that. We'll get to all of that this morning. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, She's Jen Jensen. It's the early game.
Some cool, sweet deals to check out.
A Columbia Fireflies family 4-pack with gift basket. Absolute glass shower door and installation. And a crystal clean janitorial home cleaning service.
Just go to 1075thegame.com and click on sweet deals to find out more. From The Game in Columbia, Myrtle Beach, and Florence.
It's Jen with CHW Cabinetry. The renovations that we did due to the pipes that burst last Christmas Eve, it took out the ceiling, the walls, the cabinets, everything had to come out. And we found locally owned, women-owned CHW Cabinetry in Lexington, and they helped us lay out our new kitchen. They showed us options to make the kitchen as efficient and as functional as possible, even for somebody like me who really can't cook. And then they provided that photorealistic rendering that looked like somebody had just taken a picture of what our kitchen was going to look like. And then when it came to doing everything else, like countertops and paint and backsplash and all of that, it made it so much easier to make those choices. They have a job site guarantee, and that made the installation process go so smoothly, and we're thrilled. If you need cabinetry for your home, your workspace, or even an outdoor kitchen, visit chwcabinetry.com or give them a call at 803-520-6837. Make sure to tell them Jen Jensen sent you. CHW Cabinetry, passion from inspiration to installation.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. Historic savings now in South Carolina's Kia Giant, JT's Kia. JT dares to go where no Kia dealer has gone before. Save thousands off new Kias. Save thousands in interest, just 1.9%. And get 20% more for your trade, up to $6,000 more. Plus, no payments till next year and never, ever pay more than sticker. South Carolina's Kia Giant. I-77 at Killian Road, JT's Kia.com.
Hello, my name is Joe Wilson, Member of Congress. I'm honored to serve the people of the 2nd District of South Carolina and want to make sure you know that our office is here to help you. Red tape can be overwhelming, so if you need assistance with veterans benefits, Social Security, Medicare, or other issues, please contact the office at area code 803-939-0041 or the website joewilson.house.gov. We are here to help you. paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Introducing Nucor Buildings Group, the Fortune 100 company right in your own backyard. They have exciting opportunities waiting for you. Whether you're skilled in administration, production, welding and fitting, or industrial electrical and maintenance, they want you. Join their team of dedicated professionals and be a part of something bigger. Apply online today at jobs.nucor.com and search Swansea. Unlock your potential today with Nucor Buildings Group. For more information, visit jobs.nucor.com, Swansea location, or call 803-381-9488. That's 803-381-9488.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler Brown. If you or a loved one are over 65 and haven't completed a long-term care planning consultation, now is the time. Did you know that if you aren't able to afford the high cost of skilled care, your assets can be rapidly depleted to only $2,000 unless you plan 5 years in advance? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most, like dinner with loved ones, letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at fepblue.org.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worry. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
1075 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
And taking a look at those traffic conditions out there first thing this morning, things aren't looking too bad. No major slowdowns, no tie-ups to speak of. A disabled vehicle, I-26 westbound at Sunset Boulevard, but shouldn't really be impacting traffic flow. Partly sunny today, 72 for the high. Some clouds tomorrow, 75 for the high. Just a slight chance for some rain. And then come Saturday, game day, 75 under sunny skies. So it's going to be fantastic weather for the game. Right now, we're looking at 51 on the early game.
The early game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen, your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 1075 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$6:19 as we get you up and get you going on a Thursday morning. Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen to be joined later on in the program. Dakota Watson will join us later on this morning. We'll talk about Gamecocks Plus. They have a brand new bundle with which you can join. We'll tell you all about that. Brian Edwards of Vegas Insider will give us his picks. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you last week was not good. He was not good last week. That means he's due for a bounce back week. So we'll catch up with Brian Edwards later on this morning, and a lot of other stuff to get to. Shane Beamer talking yesterday, the coordinators talking yesterday. It is that official time of the season, Preston, where coaches have to answer questions about other jobs.
Air quote answer.
Dabo Sweeney's already answered about Texas A&M.
Did he?
Shane Beamer's had to answer about no, not really. Well, he spoke. Words came out. Shane Beamer had to talk about Mississippi State. Dow Loggins yesterday had to talk about Arkansas. We'll get to all of that coming up. 803-404-6100. But again, yesterday, big day, really good day for South Carolina basketball as a whole. 2 commitments, not to put down the Eli Ellis commitment, but when you land the number 2 commitment in the country for Dawn Staley, that one's a little bit big. No offense again, Eli Ellis. You
appreciate your service, Eli. You could have might have postponed.
Might have noticed. You should have. Maybe should have. Oh. Or maybe he was thinking like, oh, she's going to go elsewhere. I better save the day.
I can't say that I followed the recruiting very closely of Joyce. But I saw the hats that were on the table and I was like, yeah, I mean, come on. It was Clemson, South Carolina, and LSU.
It came down to South Carolina and LSU. I think Clemson was a part, but
I don't know who she was doing a favor at Clemson, but salute to them.
Yeah.
I guess they could say we were one of the top 3.
I think supposedly they were involved, but it came down to South Carolina LSU, and there's a lot of rumors circulating the old internet as it pertains to what NIL deals may or may not have been available.
I saw something that was pretty wild, but it just feels like from what I saw, and not to substantiate rumors, feel like they might have been shooting at the wrong person because just from what I've gathered, I don't think that what LSU was offering was necessarily her priority, so oh well, they didn't get it done.
No, and Dawn Staley does, and this is just another situation of Dawn Staley just saying, I'm the best, and I'm going to keep my homegrown talent home. And I want to get into that comment you brought about the amount of talent that is coming out of this state, a ridiculous amount of talent. And then when you mix that with a national recruiting perspective or reach that Dawn Staley has. 803-404-6100. We'll get more into that, but let's get out to a man who knows all about women's basketball, Gamecock Larry. Now, Gamecock Larry, before you go into your rant, and I hope I don't throw you off, I was talking about you yesterday. I was at the bar. I was talking about you. Actually, turns out one of my good friends has done electrical work for you and for Tanya, for your daughter, and he's familiar with you, knows you. But I was trying to tell, and I want you to retell it because I know one of them's listening. I want you to retell it. You used to live somewhere in Georgia, and your family would drive you closer to our station's signal so you could listen. Is that right?
No, what it was, I used to live up in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
And
way off.
Yeah, and I used to drive down to Clover, and because cigarettes for my wife was cheaper in Clover than in the rural North Carolina. But one morning I decided to get me a beer, and I found me one of them little side parking spaces, and I backed up in there, and I just had the radio on 100.7, and all of a sudden that thing came in loud and clear, and I sat there a few minutes, and I said, "That's 100.7," and then I got where I used to sneak off from the house, and I'd drive down there when it wasn't working, and I knew where that spot was, and I'd back in and I'd listen to 100.7 just to see what the news were down here at the Gamecock. That's what I used to do. I've done it quite a few times. I heard Tommy and Ninja and all. That's back a long time ago. Yes, sir. I've done it. I've been following the Gamecock system. Well, the first day you came on, old Tommy the Tiger made me mad. I called him and I said, "This is Gamecock Larry." And old Benji Norton said, "We're going to have a lot of fun with Gamecock Larry and Tommy the Tiger and our here on the radio." We did. We had a little old competition going, but Tommy, he didn't know he wasn't Tommy the Tiger when we played Sandlot football, baseball, basketball, anything over here at Olympia Mill Village. He wasn't Tommy the Tiger. He was Steve Wadiak. Tommy the Tiger was my second cousin. We played a lot together. He became a Tiger when my cousin got a scholarship to go to play tackle for the Clemson Tigers. He became Tommy the Tiger. Now, let me tell you about what I don't run my mouth, and you probably done got mad at me for talking so long.
No, I wanted you to, because you're right. I wanted you to tell that story about how and you're right. You were one of the first listeners when 107.5 came on the air, and I was trying to explain that to somebody yesterday. I couldn't remember the story though about you driving somewhere just to listen, because it wasn't like you lived in Columbia all the time. You had to drive somewhere to come and listen to the station.
Well, let me tell you, I've been to North Carolina. I've been to Dalton, Georgia. And I've always had 107.5. Well, I had to pay for it. I don't know how they got it. I don't understand all these newfangled things. Bill, I'm at almost 90 years old. Oh, I don't know nothing about this. They're talking about, the lady said, you got an email address? I said, no, I got a mailbox sitting out here side the road. I ain't got no email address. She got mad and hung up on me. Now, I think the women has only lost 3 games in the last 2-3 years, right? 3 games. I don't know how many they won, but I don't think I don't know whether they lost 3 games. I remember they lost that hot and shooting Clark out there, and so we lost that game, but we beat the national champions at least 2 or 3 times since Milk has been there, and I don't think we might have not even lost. We might have just lost 1 game. And that was an old Clark beat us, because we beat Milky last year, so I don't think they beat us. I think we got the best record anywhere here lately, so I ain't worried about that. But World of Pearl from Kentucky, he doesn't text me. I heard it ringing, but I wouldn't answer it, because you know what? I think I got it boiled down to Root Hall. Gamecock Larry gonna look for you. I think it's Root Hall. Now, that's about all I got to say. But yeah, Bill, I've been listening to 107.5 since, I guess, the first or second day. Came on, and I've been around, and I always found a little ways to get 107.5, get the news. We couldn't listen to it much because it cost us so much money. But I loved y'all, and y'all were great. And now I'm up in age, and y'all has helped the old man. And I'm going to tell you something. I read my Bible, I go to church, and then 107.5, y'all keep me going, and I love all y'all. And just hope I'm around in 2024 when the Gamecocks going to be in the 2020. We going to be in the top. And old Gamecock Larry's feeling good like an old man should.
Attaboy.
Go Gamecocks. Love all y'all.
Love you too.
Love y'all. Go Gamecocks.
There you go. He's also on Facebook. Are you two aware of this?
No.
He's on Facebook.
Assuming his daughter or his nephew did that.
He's friended me, and he tells you when he wakes up now on Facebook. Keeps you updated on
It's a good check-in.
Keeps me updated.
Shout out.
803-404-6100. If you want to weigh in this morning, always love that guy. Yeah, the amount of talent coming out of South Carolina in women's basketball. We'll get into that when we come back. South Carolina with a big commitment yesterday. Joyce Edwards. We'll talk more about that. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It's the early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game.
Hey, guys, coming up on the afternoon show Wednesday, South Carolina Athletics Director Ray Tanner joining us live. It'll be at 3:30. We'll talk to Coach about the football season, these final big primetime games, a special guest this week, and we'll get into a lot of what's going on around name, image, likeness, and what that looks like for the future.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Right now, I think we're having some great weather. The afternoons are feeling pretty good. The mornings are not too cold, but we all know that's going to change at some point. you're going to have the heating unit working exceptionally well in your home. And right now, AAA Heating and Air is helping our senior citizens. If you are 62 years of age or older, or you know somebody 62 years of age or older, contact AAA Heating and Air today. Give them a phone call, 803-677-1500. Have them come out for a complimentary heating unit checkup. That's right. Make sure when you click on the heat this coming winter that it works properly. So call AAA Heating and Air, and if you're 62 years of age or older, get a complimentary heating unit checkup. 803-677-1500. That's how you can reach out to AAA Heating and Air. You just want to tell them you heard it here on 107.5 The Game with Bill Gunner. That's AAA Heating and Air, taking care of your family. Give them a phone call, 803-677-1500.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where next-level internet speeds mean next-level productivity. Kick it up a notch with a game-changing offer of 500 megabits per second of lightning-fast speed for only $39.99 per month. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. Rush now to South Carolina's Jeep and Truck Giant for up to $12,000 off new Jeeps. JT's Jeep Ram Lexington, Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, Gladiator. Savings are huge. Plus, up to $12,000 off new Rams. And right now, 2.9% financing for 72 months. Don't sweat your credit. JT has the power to say yes. Up to $12,000 off new Jeeps. Rush to JT's Jeep Ram, 378 Lexington, jtsjeepram.com. Black Friday sales event.
Hi, I'm Glenn Matthews.
And I'm Melanie Matthews.
And we are the third generation owners of Modern Exterminating Company.
In a time when corporate consolidation, high-pressure door knockers, and inexperienced startups are becoming the norm, isn't it nice to have an experienced, local, family-owned company that you can count on since 1955?
Modern Exterminating has been the local, independent industry leader in the pest control business for the last 67 years. Experience the local, family-owned difference for yourself at 803-765-2315 or pestfreesc.com.
Okay, so you're a guy. You don't feel as young as you used to. You're kind of dragging. No life drive, no sex drive. You have brain fog. You're not sleeping well. All sorts of stuff is going sideways. But you don't want to talk to anybody because we're guys. There's someone you can talk to. Dr. Dan Botnight at the Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Because honestly, what you could be going through could simply be low testosterone. One way to find out. A free consultation at the Men's Clinic of South Carolina, 803-875-MENS, or online, themensclinicsc.com.
Are you craving a win? From the first bite to the last, Rush's delivers on their promise of fabulous food fast. Their chicken and barbecue suppers to go are the real MVPs of your game day experience. Rush's is not just a restaurant, they're your neighbors, friends, and fellow fans. So whether you're tailgating or tuning in, Rush's is your play-by-play partner in flavor. Swing by one of their 8 locations across the Midlands and make every game day a taste sensation to remember. Follow on social media for the latest Rush's highlights. Get ready to ring in the holiday season with Gamecock fans of all ages at the Making Spirits Bright Holiday Pop-Up Experience at Williams-Brice Stadium, presented by Coca-Cola. Tickets are now on sale for this 3-night event, which begins on December 6th. Get your tickets today to join us at the Making Spirits Bright Holiday Pop-Up and experience the magic of the holiday season. Visit GamecocksOnline.com/holiday to learn more about the Holiday Pop-Up at Williams-Brice Stadium, December 6th through the 8th.
Christmas is here.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. No pressure buying. Best in class service. And a $1,000 low price guarantee. The season's always better in a Love Chevrolet. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms cleaned for only $129 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Just one accident to let you know about. Broad River Road at I-20, so be careful approaching that area. But other than that, all moving along fairly well, so be careful out there this morning. We'd love to see you get to work on time and safely. 72 under partly sunny skies today, 75 tomorrow, 75 for Saturday, mostly sunny for game day, so should be great. And then getting down to 38 for the overnight, so you'll obviously be packing in layers for that game. Right now, it is 51 at the early game.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
On your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
.36 on a Thursday morning, November the 16th. Hope you're up. Hope you're at 'em. Hope you're enjoying the morning as we get you going. The number 2 player in the nation per ESPN Hoop Girls yesterday in the 2024 class, Joyce Edwards commits to Dawn Staley in South Carolina over LSU. Obviously, it looks like, Preston, it feels like it is there was a day and age where South Carolina was not good at women's basketball. We didn't all pay attention. Maybe you tuned in the Final Four or something, and you saw Tennessee and Connecticut, and you're like, oh, yeah, they dominate the sport. Whatever. It feels like that's where we're heading now. South Carolina and LSU, Kim Mulkey. There's a legitimate rivalry there. It feels like those are the top 2 in the sport. And, it feels like Caitlin Clark in Iowa is a passing fad. Caitlin Clark will leave. We'll move on from them. It feels like Tennessee has been replaced. It feels like Dawn Staley has already kind of knocked Gino Auriemma off of the perch and has moved past. I know they finally got Paige Beckers back this week, but it feels that way. And you brought up an interesting point that I don't know if we realize the amount of talent coming through South Carolina in the women's game.
Yeah, I mean, just the idea of having 3 McDonald's All-Americans within a 50-mile radius is absolutely. I mean, I don't know if it's unprecedented because I haven't done the research, but I don't know if that's happened before, and I don't know if that'll happen since. Just the happenstance of that being a thing where you have these women that are so talented, so highly regarded around the nation that are in a specific place, and that specific place also happens to be home to arguably the best team in the nation. It's like, I mean, Dawn would probably say it's divine in some type of way, because it is all lining up so that these young women do not have to leave the state or even their city even to get the premium experience of being a women's college basketball player. So it's awesome for them, for sure.
803-404-6100. It's similar to what happened with Steve Spurrier. It's dragged out a little bit longer with women's basketball, but it's similar to what happened with Steve Spurrier with Clowney and Gilmore and Holloman, Jeffrey, Lattimore.
Yes, it is. And I think this is what I'm trying to piece together is I think South Carolina, the University of South Carolina's direct path to ultimate success is to, one, keep your recruits in home, in state, those magical recruits, those generational talents, as we've called them, but for them to be there for every team's success. And then when I even stretched it further, Bill, if you stretch it further to men's basketball, what teams did the men's basketball have the most success with? Where were those players from?
PJ Sandarius, Justin Mackey, all from the state of South Carolina.
Correct. Stretch it back to baseball. Michael Roth, Drew Meyer. It seems as if when South Carolina can corral their in-state talent, when they have those talent bunches come through and we're able to get a hold of them, this place can do really well on a national scale. Because it's always talked about, we don't have the numbers that these other states have when you're thinking about like Georgia or Florida as far as recruiting. And that may be true, but when it comes to getting upper echelon talent, being able to keep some of those people here has proven to be very successful for all of our athletic programs.
So I'm going to jump ahead in your morning. Is geography a part of, is luck of geography a part of South Carolina's success?
I think there is a luck aspect to it, because how fortunate is it to have a truly generational talent in Asia Wilson to grow up down the road from this program. How fortunate is that to happen? That's almost impossible for that to happen and for it to be something at home. And these young women don't pick where they grow up. You know, shout out to Joyce. I'm not sure if anybody's going to say, you know where I want to grow up? I want to grow up in Camden, South Carolina. That's exactly where I want to be. It's a place where you're born and where you grow up, where you're raised, and you just happen to be in proximity to a program that is steadily on the climb. So there is some luck involved in geography, but the execution part is when you have those players that are actually good, being able to keep them in state and keep them home.
803-404-6100. I'm trying to think back to your time. I mean, obviously Langston was from Charleston. You were from Charleston. Rod Wilson was Charleston-ish. And you go back, Phil Petty, Boiling Springs, Derek Watson from Palmetto. And you can probably think better than I can to those that 8-4 and those 9-3 seasons and what it was with geography and in landing local recruits.
Yeah, I mean, the geography is always going to be super important. It's going to be a lot, especially in football. Whereas maybe your top talent comes from another place, but football, you're going to need the numbers. So where do those numbers come from? It might come from some in-state places. You see Shane doing that well with the great wall of linemen that are coming in, right? You see Cam Pringle, you see Marky Anderson, all of these folks that are from in-state being able to lock it down here makes a lot of sense. Now, when I was coming along, Tennessee, Phil Fulmer should just pay a little dividend to South Carolina every year. Just say, thank you so much for my life, because I basically would come and pillage South Carolina. Bobby Bowden also.
Real quick, you know what? I'm going to go way down a path on you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know and what do you remember about Albert Haynesworth? What can you share on there? I'm sorry, because you mentioned that we're talking about in-state talent, and it dawned on me that he's around your age.
Yeah. Albert was a generational person, a generational body, generational at the bank when he decided he wanted to play. Big quick story about Albert Haynesworth. He was we used to go to camp with them and with Hartsville. Shout out to Hartsville. Shout out to Jason Capers. We used to go to camp with Albert, and it's not a secret. Albert was not a high motor guy, not a high energy or effort guy.
When he felt like going, he felt like going.
Yeah, when he decided to play, he decided that he wanted to play. And I think the Hartsville coach was going to basically had enough of Albert. He was going to ready to dismiss him. And I've heard stories where Coach McKissick, being the old wise veteran that he said, we can find a place for that guy. I will figure out a way to get that guy to play. Coach McKissick was not going to dismiss somebody like Albert Haynesworth. But I mean, Albert was a tremendous dude as far as his talent was concerned. But yes, he went to Tennessee, did very well, had a disdain for some reason for South Carolina. I'm not sure what that was about, but Tennessee, Florida State, they made killings with all of these players from South Carolina. And now if we're able to keep these players, whether it's through any sport, basketball, women's basketball, baseball, football, that path to success is a lot more sustainable for every sport in South Carolina.
803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in this morning if you choose to do so. We'll get to some of those text lines. In the next hour, we'll talk a little Dow Loggins and what he had to say yesterday, get back into some Shane Beamer as well. A lot to do this morning, and I don't know what is next. All it reads is move over, Gritty. Here comes the squabble.
Get ready, kids.
Get ready, kids.
So clearly, Bill's been really big on the show prep since he's just reading it, saying, "I don't know what's coming next."
Well, no, I know what's coming. There are certain things that when Preston puts it up, I'm like, I don't want to find out. I just want Preston to explain it to me. This is one of those things
get ready,
where
kids.
I don't know what's going on. And when I read it last night, I was like, nope, not even going to look it up. Just going to let it be explained to me. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, she's Jen Jensen. It's the early game.
Here are some cool, sweet deals to check out.
A $500 gift certificate from Elite Lawn and Landscape. Modern exterminating, termite system, and installation. And a $500 gift certificate from The Nest.
Just go to 1075thegame.com and click on Sweet Deals to find out more. From The Game in Columbia, Myrtle Beach, and Florence.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sunday's failed fake spike by Bailey Zappi rekindled painful memories from 1994 when Dan Marino and the Dolphins beat my Jets with it. The difference? Contrary to popular opinion, Dan didn't fool anyone, folks. He saw and beat one-on-one coverage from Jets rookie corner Aaron Glenn and won the game. Bailey Zappi, what'd he do? He threw into the middle of the field, into zone coverage, and, of course, was picked by the Colts. Boomer Esiason.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime. Tonight, it's a clash in the AFC North when Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Live from Baltimore, it's the Bengals and the Ravens on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
If you have an IRS problem, getting accurate legal advice could help get all this behind you right now. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. To get the best results for our clients, we stay on top of the law and the IRS rules and regulations. It's important to us to get you back on track and in compliance legally without worry for your future. At the Ecton Law Firm, we've handled hundreds of cases for everyday hardworking people like you right here in the Carolinas. Don't face the IRS alone. Know your legal rights. Call me to set up your appointment. The first visit is completely free and confidential. You'll meet with a licensed attorney in person at our office in Irmo, just off I-26. If you're facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call me, John Ecton, at 803-771-9800. That's 803-771-9800. Or go to EctonLawFirm.com. Carolinas, if you have an IRS issue, you need a local attorney. You need me, John Ecton.
You know, in today's world, it seems like the best treatment is reserved for only a few. Well, Discover wants to change all of that by making everyone feel special. That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 live customer service as well as $0 fraud liability. That means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Finally, no matter who you are or where you are in your life, you'll feel special with Discover. You can learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations do apply. Worn out tires are a danger to you, your passengers, and other drivers. TireRack.com reminds you to inspect your tires regularly. Grab a quarter, stick it in the tread, and if you can see the top of Washington's head, it's time to replace. Go to my page, TireRack.com/Dan. Use the Tire Decision Guide to find the right tires for how and what and where you drive. Choose from the full lineup of Redestein tires and tread confidently. TireRack.com. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Twitter, you're gonna like this. This has come out of the blue on X or Twitter. I put a tweet out on February 13th of 2022.
Okay.
February 13th of 2022. I don't know what I was doing, but I had a game program from 1989, 1990 South Carolina basketball. Okay. South Carolina basketball. And I took a picture of it and I put it on Twitter. It says game day, South Carolina, Virginia Tech. It's got a picture of old Barry Manning. I don't know if you know who Barry Manning was. Barry, literally during the break, it must be Barry Manning's son. And I did not know this. He apparently is a safety at Eastern Michigan. But he apparently located the tweet and just puts Pops.
Okay. All right.
But apparently Barry Manning's son, former South Carolina, is a safety at at Eastern Michigan. It says at EMU.
Shout out.
Twitter or X is a phenomenal item when used properly.
I mean, some of the joy that I've gotten from just scrolling Twitter at times has been amazing. And that's why you can't get off of it, because there is some stuff in there where you're like, oh man, that was actually really good.
So yeah, did you know Barry Manning's son? And I'm looking at his Twitter account at Barry Manning 33. His son is playing football as a safety at Eastern Michigan.
Shout out to him.
Former Gamecock basketball player. How about Twitter's? I just popped up. It was like, is it just a tweet popped up? It just says Pops. And I'm looking at it like, what is it? What did I do? What did I say? 803-404-6100. Yeah, if you've never seen the Philadelphia Flyers, I assume, I don't know. You go ahead. What do we got here? The Gritty, because Gritty is the name of the Philadelphia Flyers. So I'm guessing that's actually not where. That's why I said I didn't research this. I just read Preston's rundown. Sometimes I'm like, you go.
End zone celebrations.
Okay.
Move over, kids. The Gritty was once the undisputed champs, maybe last year, of end zone celebrations, if you remember. It was a not a very difficult dance. I've seen a lot of the kids attempt to approximate that. I'm sure maybe Austin has shown you the Gritty at some point.
He has attempted the Gritty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Gritty was a thing. But we have a new dance in town, kids. And the new dance is called the Squabble.
Oh, okay.
I first was introduced to the Squabble by our own DeCarrion Joyner. If you remember when he scored against, I believe it was Texas A&M. He scored against Texas A&M. He goes to the end zone and he does the Squabble, and it's just a little dance where you just and it's kind of like you and your partner are sort of squaring up against each other, and it's a little dance that they're doing. And so if you haven't seen the Squabble, you can go back to that clip from DeCarrion and see him do it. But it's taking the NFL by storm. It's taken, obviously, it's all over the internet, it's all over the TikToks, and it's a new dance, Bill. And my question for our listening audience, which you can text in, is if you were celebrating in the end zone, what would be your dance? The Squabble is the new dance. It's the newest dance. It'll be around for about 6 more months before the next one comes along. What would be your dance if you were to score an end zone celebration? Because this is why I bring this up, really, truly. Because I have been very happy that the two big boys have scored touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
Also, simultaneously, very disappointed.
No end zone dances?
No end zone dances from the big fellas. I got news for you, big fellas. You're never getting back there again. And the fact that they didn't get 15-yarders, I'm so disappointed in them. So my question is,
were they not prepared because they just didn't expect to be there? So
they were so like, oh my God, I'm here.
So that really should be in fall camp. It's
yes.
like, okay, everybody, you've got to come up with your dance.
Got to come up.
Never know.
See, DK was ready. He's like, I get here all the time.
Right.
I'm ready to do.
You got a couple opportunities. You can review the film. You can be like, I don't really care for that when that step, that dance, didn't get the hand motion
Boogie
right.
Huntley he just raised his hands in there. He's like, oh my God.
So that was his attempt to get a little extra oxygen, probably,
He was so scared he wasn't going to catch that ball, I'm sure. But the question is, if you were to score a touchdown, what would be your end zone celebration? I played football for a long time, never scored a touchdown.
Did you have a dance in mind, and were you
prepared?
You have a celebration ready?
I don't think I would have. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I would have.
You would have just kind of run around the back of the end zone, flipped the ball, and ran off the side.
And just after I would have done it, I would have been so sad. I can't believe I didn't.
I think the lasting, like the one image we have of Lou Holtz though is him grabbing Troy Williamson after the dive.
Oh, Troy did the front flip in.
The front flip in. Like isn't that all the image we have of that?
First of all, shout out to Troy, but you got to be a super athlete to be a. Correct. Troy flipped and then got back up on his feet.
Yeah, rolled. It was a roll.
Yeah, if Preston's rolling, it's bad news. just keep rolling.
It would have turned into a side roll and then somehow a back roll.
Yes. So the question is, what would be your dance? Would it be the Squabble, the dab? Any mashed potato fans out there?
Oh wow. Bill's would have been the funky chicken.
The funky chicken?
I don't know. I wouldn't have been prepared, but I'm with Carlton. I'm with Craig. He said it was the Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
Zach says mine would be the classic toothpick on the shopping cart. As a bigger guy, I'm going full dances from Hitch.
Hitch is a good one.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Two-step. Not the two-step, though. The real.
We'll get into this. Hour 2 is on the way. What a show. Hey, we're promoting something here, and I'll tell you exactly what it is in just a second. I know exactly what it is. It's Love Chevrolet. My great friends at Love Chevrolet, the people who've been taking care of me and you and our families for over 60 years. That's right, 60 years in the business, making sure we get the absolute best deal possible, the largest selection, and it's all done by the best sales staff, the customer service staff in the state. Go visit Love Chevrolet, I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park. They'll offer you the $1,000 low price guarantee. Means you can shop all the dealerships, take it back to the folks at Love Chevrolet, and they'll top it or they'll write you a check. Also, again, 14 acres of which to choose from and a fantastic certified pre-owned lot as well. So again, servicing the Midlands for over 60 years. Go visit Love Chevrolet today and find new roads.
1075 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Introducing Nucor Buildings Group, the Fortune 100 company right in your own backyard. They have exciting opportunities waiting for you. Whether you're skilled in administration, production, welding and fitting, or industrial electrical and maintenance, they want you. Join their team of dedicated professionals and be a part of something bigger. Apply online today at jobs.nucor.com and search Swansea. Unlock your potential today with Nucor Buildings Group. For more information, visit jobs.nucor.com, Swansea location, or call 803-381-9488. That's 803-381-9488.
No one likes to talk about the injuries, pain, disability, and lost loved ones that result from terrible car and tractor-trailer accidents. I'm Jason Reynolds. At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we're honored to be the lawyers our clients rely on during their toughest moments.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When a work injury disrupts your life, I work hard to get you the medical treatment and workers' compensation you depend on.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit call 888-3joy-6359 for details. Historic savings now in South Carolina's Kia Giant, JT's Kia. JT dares to go where no Kia dealer has gone before. Save thousands off new Kias. Save thousands in interest, just 1.9%. And get 20% more for your trade, up to $6,000 more. Plus, no payments till next year and never ever pay more than sticker. South Carolina's Kia Giant. I-77 at Killian Road, JT's Kia.com.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
Websites and social media selling fake medicines may look legitimate, but they're not.
1075 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
Just one accident to let you know about, and that's Broad River Road at I-20. Traffic moving along pretty well across the Midlands this morning, and we're looking for a nice forecast for the next few days. Partial sunshine, 72 for a high today, 75 tomorrow, 75 for game day. The overnight low will be 38. So again, it'll be a time to be packing in layers for both your tailgating and then for the game. Come Saturday, sunny and 68. Could see some evening showers rolling in by Monday. Right now, though, it's 51.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
Hey, this is Carolina men's head golf coach Bill McDonald. You're listening to WNKT FM 1075, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
The early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
The nom de plume.
So nice.
I know he is. Preston is crushing it this morning with.
He's showing what 4 years of education can do. And then you're showing what 7 years of education can do.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 1075 The Game.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
7 a.m. Get you up, get you going on a Thursday. And apparently a lot of you are ready to dance.
There we go.
A lot of you are ready to dance. Carlton says he would do the Dougie.
Ooh, the Dougie.
And he says
One of
even
my
at 63.
One of my favorites.
He would do that. Les says, I think I would have to break out the moonwalk.
Moonwalk, tough in cleats.
Jeff from
Might
Kershaw.
be difficult in cleats.
Landscapers would not like that. Groundskeepers. mm-mm.
Jeff from Kershaw goes old school Cabbage Patch for my dance.
Okay. I feel yes, I like where this is going.
David goes would be the Running Man.
Okay, got the Running Man going.
Anonymous texter goes the Worm.
That was going to be my suggestion.
Of course it would. Why wouldn't you do the Worm? We've seen how agile you are in here. Jen is the most agile person. We have a former collegiate athlete in here. We have me, and then we have Jen. I've seen Jen do athletic moves in here that absolutely blow my mind at times.
Not really.
No, you're for someone who's had 59 surgeries in your life. We should wrap you in bubble wrap and make sure. Jen one time outside was showing off some kind of, I don't even know some Spider-Man move where she was literally going up the wall.
Yeah, it was one of those TikTok video things where you try to follow it, and so you put your hands on the ground and then you put one leg up and the other. You kind of do like a split almost, but up the wall.
Gotcha.
I can't do splits. Trust me.
I'm here to tell you.
We all have limits. We do all have limits. Yeah. Just the fact that your limits far exceed my
If you do the Worm, you're getting 15 yards for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
There's no way you can get around that. You can't hide that.
803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in if you want to weigh in with your end zone.
Yeah, because the trends change. The gritty was it, but now, folks, we have moved on to the squabble.
And Preston has showed me it does seem to be a tandem dance.
Yeah, it seems like it works best in tandem. You got to. It's supposed to be acting like you're squaring up with somebody. It's a little bit of a dance. Very much in the two-step realm, so it's not difficult. The level of difficulty, and that's what makes a good dance. Has to be accessible to all of us, because if it's something that's too intricate, it's going to be difficult. But the squabble is right there. I feel like a lot of people can do it.
A lot of you wait. Ryan just goes very, very simple. So I go Marcus Lattimore. Hug the O-line, run off. There you go. Case goes with bus driver. Do the bus driver.
That two hands or one hand? What are we doing with that? I like that.
Yeah, a lot of y'all.
Bus driver's a big man dance, I feel like.
Joey from Sumter goes the Pee Wee Herman.
Ooh, okay. Uh-huh. Shout out to Paul Rubens, rest in peace.
Yeah, there you go. 803-404-6100. You can keep them coming. Preston wants to know, what is your touchdown dance celebration of choice? Where would you be going with that? Because, again, as Preston has brought to our attention, we like to be cutting edge on this program.
That's right. Reporting live from the youth.
Yes.
Reporting live from the youth. As the youth correspondent, the gritty is no longer the move. We have moved on to the squabble.
And where does the name come from?
I believe it's supposed to be it's from a dance, from what I've gathered through my research. But I believe it's supposed to be
good research.
Yeah, but I believe you're supposed to be squabbling. It's supposed to be enacting. You all are supposed to be kind of squaring off, about to fight. So it's about maybe something along those lines.
Okay, where you're squabbling, you're not really fighting it, you're squabbling. So you're not totally engaged in it. Okay. It kind of makes me think of, again, I go back to the reference of the Rick Astley, where literally the boy had not a lot of rhythm, and but had the funky songs. So it was just sort of that, just a little bit of movement.
As long as it's accessible to some of my non-rhythmic fellas and women's, it's a great dance.
Yeah,
that's what makes a dance.
Yeah,
if everybody can do it, that makes it good.
803-404-6100. Just another anonymous texter going with the sprinkler.
I felt like the sprinkler was coming along.
Anonymous texter goes the twist.
Oh, chubby checker.
Yeah.
Again, a little tough with the cleats. Could be a little challenging.
Hard to get a grip in there.
Yeah.
With the twist.
Michael going with, I would do the icky shuffle or the dirty bird.
Nice.
Again, another Carlton. Yeah, this might actually be this might be the poll question. John weighs in with a good one. Any variation of Chris Farley, the SNL Chippendales dance?
Oh my! I send that gif. For birthdays. It's a treasure. It's really a treasure.
All right, the squabble has not made it to the 11-year-old yet. I have sent a text to my son Austin.
Telling you're
to check.
welcome. Telling you're welcome.
He says,
You're welcome,
I
Austin.
said, "Are you familiar with the squabble?" I just got an LOL, no sir, why? So now he's probably trying to get dressed for school going, what is happening?
Got to research it.
There's a lot of people.
Do your research, Austin.
A lot of people probably wondering what is happening here.
That's why we're here.
This morning, 803-404-6100. Keep them coming. We'll get to them. What is your end zone touchdown celebration dance? We'll get more into that. Again, news from yesterday. South Carolina picking up 2 basketball commitments, one for the women's, one for the men's, and Preston again. Does it when you get, now we're past this. We're past an in-state player maybe leading the parade of players coming to the university. I feel like, I don't know who really started it for Dawn. Would it be Elena Coates, Alicia Welch from Goose Creek? Asia Wilson was the big name. Malaysia Fulwiley now, obviously. But yesterday, the number 2 player in the country, according to ESPN Hoop Girls, Joyce Edwards, makes the commitment. Do you remember an in-state player committing to South Carolina that made you take notice?
Probably Derek Watson.
Really?
Yeah, I think Squeak. Squeak was as big.
But that was in your class. Was there one prior?
Derek was a year prior to me.
That's right, 99. Yes.
Yeah, so he was a year prior to me, and that was somebody who I shout out to Billy Baker in the Old School Sports Report. But I remember reading about Derek Watson and who that guy was and how he had all these offers from all these other schools, and him electing to stay in the state was pretty big at the time. That's somebody I definitely remember making an impression because he had every opportunity to go anywhere else that he wanted to go in the world.
803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in. Joyce Edwards commits to Dawn Staley yesterday, choosing the Gamecocks over.
And shout out to all the people out. Camden's a really awesome community. Just a really, really cool place to play sports, to grow up. Really cool community.
It's been a place, obviously, unfortunately, he's now transferring, but Xavier McLeod coming from there. South Carolina's done really well. I'm trying to think, there was a wide receiver back in the day that I think went to Clemson. Bigger wide receiver. I don't exactly remember who it was, but by and large, South Carolina's done well at Camden with players. So that was one yesterday for Dawn Staley. Lamont Paris, not to be outdone, picks up himself a 4-star point guard, Eli Ellis, out of Moravian Prep in North Carolina, chooses the Gamecocks over Texas A&M, Wake Forest, a few other Power 5 schools as well, known as a shooter. Apparently, also, speaking of dances, touchdown end zone dances, Eli Ellis apparently has quite the social media following.
Yes, because on the state newspaper, the headline read, shooting guard and TikTok star.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, if we have a TikTok star on campus, I am in for it. I haven't done the research yet, so I'm going to go check out the contents of his TikTok. But I'm here to I'm here again. This is Preston Thorne live reporting from the streets of TikTok. From the youth streets of TikTok. I'll be back with a report tomorrow.
Yeah, apparently Eli Ellis, quite the social media star. Look, that is one way to build your NIL. I laugh about it. I can kind of joke about it, but Eli Ellis, considered the number 89 player in the country, according to 24/7 Sports. That's their composite ranking. 24/7 Sports' own personal ratings have him at 63. But this is a young man, big pickup. I don't know if this is an attention getter like Joyce Edwards is, but it certainly helps to point to this guy and for Lamont Paris. And again, the thing I really like, I can visualize what Lamont Paris is building right now. He is a premium on smart basketball, high IQ basketball players and shooters first. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but almost athleticism, just run and jump athleticism. He would rather have a smart, high IQ basketball player and a person who can shoot than he would just a great athlete that he then has to coach. And I love Frank Martin. I've been honest. I think Frank was great to me, but I do think it is a complete 180. And there's a lot of things you're seeing that is a complete 180 from the Frank Martin era. And I think to a lot of people, that's a breath of fresh air.
It is I think about it like this as far as recruiting strategy is concerned. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, right? Like we just said, when you go to the grocery store for Thanksgiving, you have a list of things that you need to get in order to make the meal that you want to make. And so you may have to go get sage. You may have to go get dressing, you may have to go get flour, whatever you need to make that specific meal. And people may look at your card and say like, okay, that's an interesting choice, but you're making a meal. That's what it seems like Lamont is doing. He knows what he wants, and he's going to get the specific pieces that he needs to make the team in his image. Sometimes it seems like coaches just go out and recruit. They just go to the grocery store and just grab stuff, and they just have things in their cart, and it's like, I don't know, we'll figure this out later. And that doesn't seem like it's Lamont's strategy. Lamont seems to have a pointed strategy as to who he wants on the team, how his players will play, the profiles of them, and he has a very clear vision of what that looks like to him. And that is reassuring as a fan, because you're like, okay, this is where we're going. This is the direction that we're going. Now I need to know how this looks, what we're going to pay attention to. And so to me, that is really interesting, that sort of direction of how he's choosing to build his recruiting classes.
803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in this morning. Tyson, again, Icky Shuffle, ultimate big boy dance.
Icky Shuffle back and forth, that works.
Anonymous texter goes, nothing beats last year's Super Bowl when Kansas City played whack-a-mole. How would you feel as a coach if you look over and your team is practicing their touchdown celebrations?
I'd be again, I have some old school tendencies in me. I'd be teething. I'd be so upset.
An anonymous texter weighs in. Eli Ellis has 754,000 followers on TikTok. I'd say that classifies him as a TikTok star. What has he been doing on TikTok?
I saw a video yesterday where he was shouting into a camera after he made a shot. He was just saying, "It's my state. It's my state." Shout out to Eli. I feel like we might have a character on our hands.
Okay, all right.
And he has a faded up haircut with curls on the top.
We got all that as well. If you
and he wears an undershirt.
Billy, by the way, weighs in on his dance. This is Morris Day's The Bird.
Ooh.
Okay, now that's a pretty good choice there.
Good pick. Good pick.
Perked my attention.
There you go. A lot of you continue to weigh in. David goes with the cowboy. Brad.
What is the cowboy? I don't know. Is that like a?
I think, I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know.
I like it.
803.
Nobody's mentioned what was it? The Dabo did that one time. Is it Whip and Nene or something?
Oh, Dabo doing the Nene was, bad.
Very.
Almost as bad as when he said, "I got the chip with the dip." That was another rough one that he did. Shout out, salute to you, Dabo.
Bless him.
Dad dork energy right there is what you get.
High level.
Yeah.
High level.
803-404-6100. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen as we dance you through the morning. It's the early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game.
Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer, live from Backstreet Grill in Columbia, Thursday at 6 p.m.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach.
And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
All right, while you're dancing and getting ready for Thanksgiving, you should also be thinking about keeping your carpets, your rugs, your tile, your upholstery, all of that insanely clean. And with Zerorez and their patented ZR water technology, that is exactly what will happen. So with Thanksgiving now a week away, your time is kind of limited. You better call Zerorez, 803-262-4020, or schedule online, ZerorezColumbia.com. Get them out to get the carpets, the rugs, the tile, the upholstery, all looking great, because next week it's Thanksgiving. Family's coming over. You're going to have a judgy aunt, uncle. You're going to have people that are looking at your carpets, your rugs, your tile. They're wondering why you don't keep your house clean. Don't let that happen. Call Zerorez, 803-262-4020, and schedule today. Mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Again, that's $129 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? I'm Dr. Mark Bentley with Columbia Secret for Weight Loss, and I know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged or boxed meals, no surgery, and no hypnosis, call my office now at 824-4210.
Hi, I'm Erica, and if you want to lose weight and fix your metabolism, then this is the program for you. I'm down 30 pounds in 7 weeks. My metabolism is alive again, and I feel great. This system will not let you down.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 803-824-4210. That's 803-824-4210. Or ColumbiaSecretForWeightLoss.com.
It's November at Galliana Kia on Greystone. Drive home a new Kia with no money down and no payments until February 2024. Save up to $10,000 on a 2023 Kia EV6 electric super vehicle. Or lease a 2023 Galliana Kia Forte LXS for $155 per month. 2024 Galliana Kia K5 LXS or 2023 Kia Sorento LX. Just $225 per month. Or finance a new Kia at 0.9 APR for up to 48 months. So if a car dealer asks you for any down payment at all, just say no. It's November. Drive home a new Kia with no money down and no payments until February 2024. Gotta go to Galliana Kia on Greystone. I-126 Zoo exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or KiaColumbia.com. 2122 per month per $1,000 for 48 months at 0.9 APR with 0 down. 86 discount on lease stock number 3K500. 44 month lease is $10,000 per year. $54.99 due signing plus tax tag and $489 closing fee. No security deposit to qualified buyers. Expires with that.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at
Okay, that's crazy. What you just sent me, that's what I have pulled up right now.
needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24.
I'm a minute 44 in. It's been actually pretty fun to watch.
Finding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
1075 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
And the traffic conditions out there right now, we are looking at, did have a tie-up that has been, sometimes you have these things pop up. It's like, it's there, then it isn't. So I guess that's good news. Broad River Road at I-20, that's the only accident we have to report at this time. Other ones have been cleared, so fantastic. And we hope it stays that way for you. 72 will be our high today, 75 tomorrow, 75 under sunny skies for game day. Love that a lot. 52 right now on the early game.
The early game.
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach.
And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
(803-404-6100). How you can weigh in this morning if you want to do so. Want to remind you, coming up later on today. Tyler Head broadcasting live from Gold Line Framing, 511 12th Street in West Columbia. So you can go by 511 12th Street in West Columbia and visit with Tyler. Also today, 12 to 3, Terry Ford will be at live from the Nest Bathroom Supply Store, 1331 Gadsden Street. So we've got all people all over the place today. We're all out there hanging out. Come by and see us. Tyler over at 511 12th Street in West Columbia at Gold Line Framing. Terry live at the Nest Bathroom Supply Store, 1331 Gadsden Street. So you can go by and visit them. And then, of course, tonight, don't forget, Carolina Calls with Shane Beamer right here, 107.5 The Game, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. Speaking of which, Preston, coaches, and by the way, keep sending in your dances. I've got them all. I'm also putting them up on our live stream. You go to our live stream, go to youtube.com, search 107.5 The Game, and weigh in there where you can be a part of it. Austin, my son, has weighed in. He says the gritty is just better. I don't know if that's actually my son, but I've been texting with him. So
that could be. And there, I am working on the podcast. So by the end of the show, when we're done talking about this will be on the podcast page if you happen to miss it.
Yeah. And the interview yesterday with Darude, also up there. Jen did a great job getting all that all up. But you can go to our live stream, go to youtube.com, search 107.5 The Game, click join, subscribe, be a part of it. Hope weighing in, Austin, DC, Chuck, Matthew, Jimmy, a lot of people getting it. Carlton again was offering the Dougie at 63 years of age.
Nice.
Keep sending in your dances, your touchdown end zone dances that you would do if you were to score a touchdown. As Preston, happy for the big boys, Tonka and Boogie, disappointed in their lack of a touchdown dance.
Yes, happy yet disappointed. They did not seize the moment. They scored the touchdown, which is cool. That'll go down in the stat sheet, but will we really remember it?
That's true.
Will we really remember it? One of my favorite touchdown dances was, and I don't know which game this was, but shout out to Casey Crosby. He caught a touchdown in the end zone one time, and he gave like a little shoulder shimmy. It's one of my favorite Gamecock touchdowns ever.
Okay.
Ever. And shout out to Casey, one of my favorite players also.
Who's your favorite because of the
just
celebration?
It was just the shimmy. You just did a little move. It was
See, I like that. It's
awesome.
subtle.
It was subtle.
But still doing something.
Yeah, it was just enough not to get a flag. Just enough not to get a penalty.
803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in this morning on anything that we have discussed, including your end zone dances. Again, Joyce Edwards, number 2 player in the country, commits to Dawn Staley. 4-star point guard Eli Ellis commits to Lamont Parish yesterday. And a reminder tonight, South Carolina and Clemson take on each other. I should have mentioned that in my little rundown. 7 o'clock is tip time here on 107.5 The Game. Pre-game will actually start 6:30 on 1320 WIS AM. But tonight, the Gamecocks, Dawn Staley taking on Clemson in their rivalry matchup. Speaking of rivalries, we got into that a little bit yesterday. The final poll results that came up from, I put this on Twitter/X yesterday as it pertains to what we have going on. It was over 250 votes, 66%, I'll round up, going with yes, South Carolina should embrace Kentucky as a rival.
I think the number should be higher. I think it should be about 80%. This is our rival. This is the rival in the SEC, just for the fact that we are continuously grappling over who's going to be better. And neither one of us thinks that the other side is better than them. So I think we might need to, 66 is solid, but we can get that higher.
Looking ahead, we'll play some Shane Beamer and Dow Loggins audio coming up throughout the program, both addressing kind of their coaching situations. But you start to look at this game. One thing about Dow Loggins, Preston, how would you did pass fail in your grades on Tuesday. How would you assess him for the season? Because you've got the fourth ranked. I should have pulled up my numbers right in front of me. Passing offense in the league, the 14th ranked running offense in the league. How would Preston Thorne assess Dow Loggins' job this year?
I'll give him a passing rate for sure. And as I said, I offered a olive branch to Dow because I was one of the people who was questioning his hiring based on his track record in the NFL. It is not impressive. However, he has done what I think is a masterful job of making the most out of limited options on on offense this year. He's maximized Spencer as a quarterback. Spencer's become who we always hoped he would be, and I think that's a lot due to the play calling and tutelage and professionalism of Dow Loggins. So, yeah, I would definitely give him a passing grade for sure.
This is Dow Loggins, because I don't know where people stand on this. And Loggins was a guy last year that a lot of people, well, let's start. A lot of people weren't excited about the hire.
Me.
But, as you just mentioned, yes, thank you. But a lot of people, when they thought Kendall Briles was going to leave Arkansas last year, that Dow Loggins was going to be the guy. Well, Kendall Briles did end up leaving. It was just after Dow Loggins took the offensive coordinator job here. There's a lot of speculation. Hey, maybe he would go back to Arkansas. His wife was a cheerleader. He was a player there. He's coached there. Here's Loggins yesterday addressing the Arkansas situation now that Arkansas has an opening as on offensive coordinator.
So I'm going to keep clicking because I know it's going to come really soon. It's going to activate right
here,
right?
Mouse has no batteries again.
Go back to
France.
There we go. All right. I don't want to give coach talk. I don't want to be that guy and be like, we're on to Cincinnati or on to Kentucky. That was a Belichick reference. Look, I understand why my name comes up there. I went to school there. I was born there. I played football there. My wife was a cheerleader there. She's from Arkansas. I had an unbelievable opportunity to go back and coach at my alma mater, which is awesome. And I hope that everyone gets that aspires to get that. On the flip side of that is I really believe in Coach Beamer, and I believe in what we do here. And I think it's disrespectful to think about anything other than my promise I made to Spencer Rattler when I got here, and Juice Wells and Xavier Legette when I'm trying to recruit those guys to come back or not get in the transfer portal, to not enter the NFL draft. And what we have here and what we've built, it hadn't been the season we won. But I'm extremely appreciative of the effort that those guys have given, the toughness that Spencer's played through this whole season. And my family's happy here. My wife's happy here. My kids are happy in school. So that's how I'm going to answer that question and be as honest and transparent as I could. Like, I believe in what's going on here, and I hope that everyone does. I believe in the players in our locker room. I love my quarterbacks, from Spencer to Lenoris to Tanner to Colt to Luke Doty, to the guys that are coming. Like, I deeply, deeply care about those guys. And there are a lot of players at Arkansas I got to coach there for 2 years I deeply care about and so I have really good relationships with. But I'm here and I'm happy. My wife's happy. My kids are happy. And I love coming to work every day. And that's the most important thing to me is walking through that door. I work for a guy that I don't believe in who he is, but I also believe in why he's doing it as well.
Is that the right way? Is that the proper answer for that? Because we'll get into some coach speak here in a little while.
I didn't hear the answer. I mean, the answer, you could say just no. That could be your answer.
You don't, as a coach, you never, in the world of like this crazy rumor, there was crazy internet rumors that Texas A&M is going to throw every penny they have. All the oil money in the world is going at Kirby Smart. And if you're Kirby Smart and I'm just hypothetical again, internet rumors. If you're offered $12, $14, $15 million, you can't turn it down, right?
You could. You may not want to. You may just want more money.
I mean, this is a live golf tour type situation, right?
Yeah. I Mr. Loggins, sir, I appreciate your candidness, your honesty. I'm not questioning your honesty. However, you did not answer the question.
We'll come back. We'll get some more Dow Loggins and we'll get some Clayton White. That's right. Oh, yeah. You're listening to the early game.
Cool, sweet deals to check out.
A $500 gift certificate from Mosley's Diamond Showcase. A $1,500 gift certificate from Elite Lawn and Landscape. And a mosquito treatment from Modern Exterminating.
Just go to 1075thegame.com and click on Sweet Deals to find out more. From The Game in Columbia, Myrtle Beach, and Florence.
Preston here for my friends at Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. So listen, if your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. They'll come out to you and they'll give you a free quote for any job. They'll come to your job, They'll come to your home. They'll come to your friend's home. They'll come wherever you are. They will come out there and take care of it for you. If it's a cracked windshield, that's no problem. They'll take care of it for you, and they usually have the insurance to take away the headache for you. Also, if you're at home, if you're looking to increase the value of that with new windows or mirrors, Absolute Glass will come out and take care of that for you too. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. I say all the time, if you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Your attention is precious. Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important, like dinner with loved ones. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at fepblue.org.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet, where saving is always the name of the game. The lowest price, guaranteed, or they'll pay you $1,000. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? I'm Dr. Mark Bentley with Columbia Secret for Weight Loss, and I know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged or boxed meals, no surgery, and no hypnosis, call my office now at 803-824-4210.
Hi, this is Kyle. This weight loss program sure has been great to me. I've lost 93 pounds in just 4 months. Only 20 pounds away from my goal weight. It has surely changed my life.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 803-824-4210. That's 803-824-4210. Or ColumbiaSecretForWeightLoss.com.
Plus, text Insider with approved credit call 888-REJOY-6359 for details. Historic savings now in South Carolina's Kia Giant, JT's Kia. JT dares to go where no Kia dealer has gone before. Save thousands off new Kias. Save thousands in interest, just 1.9%. And get 20% more for your trade, up to $6,000 more. Plus, no payments till next year and never ever pay more than sticker. South Carolina's Kia Giant. I-77 at Killian Road, jtskia.com.
Pete Elwine Pool and Spa is your hometown hot tub dealer where sales and service go hand in hand. If you've been thinking about buying a hot tub, come check out our full line of hot tubs and explore the benefits of hydrotherapy, which includes stress relief and increased blood flow and promotes overall health and well-being. Models start as low as $5,000. Pete Elwine Pool and Spa, 5541 Sunset Boulevard. You'll find us on Facebook or online at PeteLWinePools.com.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain on 83 Weeks.
Wrestling right now is incredibly profitable. Do you feel like we're in a boom period with wrestling?
It's undeniable. The numbers dictate the facts. And the facts are the numbers are bigger now than they've ever been. There's more revenue being generated. There's more distribution. The product is being accepted on a mainstream level in ways heretofore we've not seen.
83 Weeks on YouTube or wherever you listen.
107.5 The Game on demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game. 107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
I-20 eastbound at Longs Pond Road. That would be exit 51. An accident there. Also I-77 southbound at I-20. That's exit 16. An accident reported and still getting things cleaned up at Broad River Road at I-20. 72 for a high today. Might see a little bit of sunshine out there, which would be kind of nice. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 75. 75 with sunshine on Saturday, that overnight low of 38. So it'll be a day of layering. Right now, it's 52 on the early game.
worth talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
On your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Yesterday, our good buddy Patrick DeMarco joined us. Some of the discussion, Preston, was in regards to the 3-3-5 defense. This is Patrick DeMarco. Let's play this back. This is Patrick DeMarco yesterday talking about the 3-3-5 versus a running back like Kentucky has in Ray Davis. Let's replay this is again Patrick DeMarco on air with us yesterday morning talking about the 3-3-5 versus Ray Davis.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna. I mean, I would say our defensive staff's gonna do a lot of studying and breaking down. Are they trying to attack the edges, or are they trying to penetrate you in the middle? Are they trying to run tight zone? They trying to run wide zone? Are they trying to run duo where they get a bunch of double teams? So, I mean, the one thing that a 3-3-5 defense kind of where you can get attacked is you have soft edges. So 3-3-5, you got to think you get edged with a tight end on the end of the line unless you put a backer, walk a backer up on the outside. I mean, because you usually have either a 4-eye or a 5 technique, or those instead of a 3 technique and a shade. So I mean, you can just get attacked on the edges. When I was playing in Atlanta with Kyle Shanahan, like if a team ever ran an odd front, which was a head up nose, a 4-eye, and a stand up linebacker, we had a different playbook that we had in for those guys. We would try to attack the edges because that stand up edge guy, he's a wide guy, and he is basically saying, I'm not letting anything outside. So you can throw your hat and you can try to reach him. You can put him in panic mode. So you can really soften up the edge there. So depending on what Kentucky, what their plan of attack is for us, I could see us adjusting back to 4-2-5 and putting a Tyreek and another big guy in there to anchor up front. But honestly, I mean, that 3-3-5 and having Bam there and all the movement in the games we were doing up front, it was, it put Kentucky, kind of put them in a little bit of a bind, just trying to sort everything out. So I think you'll see a blend of both. I think there will be a transition point where they'll probably bounce back and forth from the 3-3-5 to 4-2-5, and keep Kentucky on their toes.
Yeah, by the way, I was not prepared. I was not the person to be having that conversation with yesterday. I've never seen a grown man happier yesterday than Pat DeMarco. You two would have just been in your own world. You'd have totally forgotten that it was a radio going on, that we had to do breaks, we had to do anything. That's a long clip, but you heard him get very football.
He sounded like he was ecstatic.
Oh man, there was a lot of. Hey, hold on. What was that word I need to Google?
I mean, he went
4 eyes, contain, edge.
Oh, and he's telling it to me like I'm some kind of like football savant over here. Who knows?
I'm just smiling now.
I was like, yeah, 4-eye, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at you as if you have 4 eyes right now.
Mutant fish somewhere in the room, right? What'd you take from that, Preston?
Yeah, man. Pat's awesome, man, and obviously he played in a lot of really structured offenses that know how to attack defenses very well. Pat has laid that out every time, is that this defense has tried to figure out ways to get their best combinations of players on the field at the same time. Even though Clayton has come to us and he's been a lifelong 4-2-5 guy, doesn't matter what you've been if what you've been is not working. And so one of the marks of a good coach is adapting your philosophy to what you have.
Here is Clayton White yesterday on the 3-3-5 defense in the week-to-week and how they'll choose to utilize it.
Good question. It definitely has to be monitored week to week on depending on the scheme you use or going against the offense that you're going to play against. But we definitely do a good job of trying to make sure that if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I think that Bam has definitely helped us on the pass rush. And he's gotten 2 sacks. He got one in the Tennessee game. He has one, obviously, last week. And other pressures, him and Willis, just helping us trying to create, get quarterbacks off the mark, trying our best to affect the quarterback in any kind of way and speed up that clock. So guys like him, offenses don't like twitchy guys rushing. So he's a twitchy dude. And definitely probably on other teams' radar.
Okay.
I would like to know when the word twitchy entered our lexicon, because that has been a word that
Edge and Twitchy came in together holding hands.
they're at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twitchy guy. He's twitchy. First of all, my favorite coach speak maybe of the year is if it fits, it fit. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Tends to make sense.
Yeah, I guess so. What Clayton is saying and what he said, and obviously we're having fun, is that once you scout that team and you feel like that their strengths line up against your strengths, or their weaknesses are line up against your weaknesses, you're trying to figure out how can you get any minimal advantage at this point in the season. And whether that is bringing an extra guy on the field that you didn't think was going to be in the field in preseason, or changing the way you line up, whatever, it doesn't matter what you thought was going to be the way. It matters what's working now. And obviously Bam Martin-Scott is giving them an extra added dimension of pass rushing that the team did not have early in the season.
This is Clayton White yesterday talking about Ray Davis. This is the guy that I think that we all look at defensively that South Carolina has to stop if they're going to win this game. Ray Davis, the really good running back for Kentucky, comes into this game this year really on a tear, and is kind of their offense, as I pointed out yesterday. The quarterback whose name all of a sudden completely just slipped my name.
Devin Leary.
Devin Leary, thank you. But Devin Leary, 19 touchdowns on the season, but 8 touchdown passes came against the 3 non-conference teams. So just 11 touchdowns in the 5 conference games that they've played, or 6 conference games that they've played. Here is Clayton White's take on Ray Davis.
Obviously, I think he has a lot of good pieces around him that makes him stand out even more. He's a really good back, great contact running back. It takes obviously 2 guys, and he has a great low center gravity, and he's a good SEC running back. I mean, every week we face one of those guys. Every Sunday we do our little player profile on each back. It seems like it's the same thing every week in the SEC. He's fast, he's big, he has good contact balance. He's got a great stiff arm, a nice dead leg, and it's every week.
All right, that's a new one, a nice dead leg.
That means I'll give you the leg and you hit it, and you don't do nothing with it.
Really?
Yeah. There's something there to that. It's still more coach jargon, but the bigger point is Ray Davis equals Chris Rodriguez equals whoever else Kentucky puts back there. It's the same Kentucky team every year after year. They're going to run the ball a million times a game and then eventually try and throw a play action pass. You really don't need to do a lot of scouting reporting on Kentucky. I can tell you what they're going to do for the past 10 years. It's not Mark Stoops. Remember they tried one year to get the pro offensive coordinator?
They didn't.
And Mark Stoops was like,
no, that's worked. But Liam Cohen is he's back. He came 2 years ago, was not there last year. A lot of people complained about the offense coordinator last year, and now Liam Cohen is back. It's just Devin Leary is not. He's
not Will Levis.
Will Levis really kind of made his NFL money under Liam Cohen.
Yeah, and that's essentially what the offense is. They're going to try and run one back inside zone types of stuff, basically bore you to sleep, and then try and beat you over the top. They run a lot of pre-snap motions, but it's not going to be. If you're looking at this Kentucky game, thinking you're going to see world-breaking, record-breaking offense or innovative offensive football, it's not what they do. They just line up, they try and smash you, and then they try and beat you over the top. So it's going to be a test of wills for this defensive line.
803-404-6100. RL weighs in. Being described as twitchy in sports. Good. Being described as twitchy on a date. Not good. We'll come back with more of your end
Also,
zone
as a woman,
celebration.
you don't want to be referred to as having low center of gravity. Just saying.
More early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game. Hey, Gamecock fans, it's tailgating time. And now's your chance to qualify to win an EU 2200i generator from Carolina Honda Powerhouse, valued at over $1,300. Just go to 1075thegame.com or stop by any live broadcast to register.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 1075 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach.
And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
This Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Fairfield by Marriott, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Embrace the adversity, posted Kyler Murray. That's a mantra for the entire Feeble Five. Behind Murray's Cardinals are the Bears at number 29. Then come the Patriots and Panthers. Last and least are the Giants. Can't wait for their Tankathon Bowl against New England in 2 weeks. I'm Boomer Esiason.
CBS Sports Radio.
Get the home field advantage every time with Fairfield by Marriott, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Whether you're a student athlete working toward your championship dreams or your team's biggest fan, Fairfield by Marriott has everything you need to get ready for game day. From comfortable guest rooms to complimentary hot breakfast, Fairfield is part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels and official hotel partner of the NCAA. Visit fairfield.marriott.com to book your next game day stay.
Thursday night football is on, and it's only on Prime. Tonight, it's a clash in the AFC North when Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Live from Baltimore, it's the Bengals and the Ravens on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Mobile phones, video games, texting. Do you feel like your family's getting lost in the virtual world? It's time to unplug and get dirty in the real world. Get connected on a new Honda CRF dirt bike from Carolina Honda Powerhouse. CRF 50s, 110s, 125s, and the 125 big wheel in stock and ready to ride. Buy now and we'll store your purchase until Christmas. Carolina Honda Powerhouse. Exit 70 off I-20 and turn by the Flying J or visit CarolinaHonda.com. Intended for off-road operation only. Parents need to consider rider's age, size, ability, and maturity before allowing them to ride.
Text entitled with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. Rush now to South Carolina's Jeep and Truck Giant for up to $12,000 off new Jeeps. JT's Jeep Ram Lexington, Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, Gladiator. Savings are huge. Plus up to $12,000 off new Rams. And right now, 2.9% financing for 72 months. Don't sweat your credit. JT has the power to say yes. Up to $12,000 off new Jeeps. Rush to JT's Jeep Ram. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Black Friday sales event.
Jay Phillips here with Jacob Crowder with First Palmetto Bank. The real estate market is heating up, and if you're building or buying a new home, you need to call 1075 The Game's longtime mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder. If you ever needed a guru that's in this market, First Palmetto Bank is owned and operated in the Midlands with local decision makers. Processing and underwriting are made easy. If you're looking to make a move, give Jacob a call at 803-719-1005 or email him at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com.
With football in the air, we know fall is here, and people will be moving. Here at First Palmetto Bank, we have products that help home buyers keep payments down. Also, ask me about our refinance options that require zero money out of pocket. Finally, if you're considering building or renovating a home, please ask me about our no-nonsense construction loans. If I can help you, give me a call today, 803-719-1005.
You're making mortgages easy, doing refinancing with no money out of pocket and helping build and renovate. If you're moving, make Jacob Crowder your first call, 803-719-1005.
Thanks, 1075 listeners. You can also email me at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com. My NMLS number is 198432. First Palmetto Bank is a member of FDIC and an equal housing lender.
The early game
with Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Eight 803-404-6100. We'll get into some more audio coming up in the next hour. I believe we'll be joined by Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. We'll also get into several other things as well coming up. Coaches speak. It's that time of year, Preston, where coaches everywhere have to contend with, are you interested in this job? You think you're going to that job? What's your interest level in that job? Shane Beamer's had to do it. Deion Sanders is having to do it. Dabo Sweeney had to do it. Now Dow Loggins is having to do it.
Oh, poor babies. They got to answer questions about things that they might want to do. Oh, I'm so sorry for them.
We'll get into that more We'll get into that more coming up in the next segment. Anonymous texter weighs in. Preston.
Yes, sir.
Where does the bow and arrow celebration originate from?
Good point. I feel like I don't know where it originates from, but I know the first person I saw do it, unfortunately, was Deshaun Watson in our end zone over and over again. The game that when he came back on the ACL,
yeah.
Felt like that was the first time I saw. I don't know if it was the first time I noticed it or whether I was just so upset that he just kept scoring on us. But that's where I first saw that one. It's been pretty consistent for a while though. So that is a great question. That's the first one I think see it. Speaking of celebrations, I also believe our own J.C. Horn originated the seatbelt.
Yes, that got brought up multiple times, I believe, on our.
I believe J.C. Horn is the originator of that, and that has spread through college and the NFL.
What would make sense because obviously Joe Horn was quite the leader of celebrations himself, knew what to do.
That's a good point. Genetics.
So yeah. Quarter weighs in his end zone touchdown dance. He would go with the river dance.
Now, is this going to be a team dance or is it just going to be you doing the river dance by yourself?
It's a good, yeah. Now we're getting very in depth. Monty goes, there's no better sight than a big man doing the worm.
That's what I'm saying.
It is a pretty impressive feat. And then you just hope they didn't hurt something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anonymous texter, the Charleston has to be the dance.
I'm
just seeing a whole flapper dress thing going. And yeah,
I'd like to see a kid from in 2023 pull out him doing the Charleston.
Right?
West Columbia Tom weighs in and says, listening to y'all talk about Dabo's dance moves has got me thinking. He's the annoying guy at the wedding reception that tips the DJ to play Come On Ride That Train, then badgers everyone to join in, pumping his fist and making choo-choo noises.
Yeah, I could see Dabo going a little bit too hard at a wedding.
Oh yeah, and and do not let him be the best man because if he has to give the best man toast,
nobody's going home.
Oh, peace out, everybody.
Monica and friends would lose her mind with yeah. Anonymous texter Billy White Shoes Johnson, the OG of Ensign.
OG, the original dances. Kind of shaking the legs, hands up in the air, one pointing fingers up in the air. Billy White Shoes Johnson, shout out.
I do agree with Matt in West Columbia. We now have a new segment. Things you can say on the football field that you can't say on a date.
That's going to be reserved for either the 6 or the 8.
Yeah, well, that might be the 5 a.m. or the 9 a.m. I don't know. It might
or we'll have one of those evenings where we've done the 107.5 the bar.
Yeah,
we're watching a game and then
I will admit, as I was listening to Patrick DeMarco express some of the sentiments about football, I was reverting back to my 14-year-old self a few times. He made some statements. I was like, oh, oof. I don't know if you can say that again.
Yeah, he was
out of the context of football. 14-year-olds are giggling everywhere.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. There was a couple things. A couple things. Even yesterday, my 14-year-old mind, 41-year-old before they was like, oh, okay, no problem. Anonymous texter weighs in. Cam Newton did the bow and arrow before Deshaun Watson did it.
Okay, that could be possible. Cam is obviously a groundbreaking legend, so I could see that being the thing.
803-404-6100. Robert weighs in. The big man truffle shuffle.
Okay,
go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people weighing in this morning. You can do as well. You can hit us up 803-404-6100 on the Firehouse Subs text line, or of course you can always go to our live stream. Go to youtube.com, search 1075thegame.com. We'll get into a few more things. Again, the news of the morning. Joyce Edwards commits to South Carolina, and Dawn Staley, the number 2 player in the country from right down the road in Camden. And Lamont Paris in South Carolina basketball picks up a 4-star point guard in Eli Ellis, who apparently has 754 TikTok followers.
I will report back from the streets of TikTok tomorrow.
Preston will keep us updated on what you can say. And Chalk on our live stream says, yeah, you can't be on a date, smack him on the backside and say good game or good date. Would go poorly.
You seem really twitchy.
Also, doesn't go very well. It's Bill Gunner. It's Preston Thorne. Jen Jensen. You are listening to the early game.
1075 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Now is the perfect time to get your sinking or cracked concrete fixed. Whether a sidewalk, a porch, or a pool deck, Canty Foundation has the perfect solution. Don't replace it, repair it. Call today for a free estimate or visit CantyCanFixIt.com.
At Take 5, they're faster than you think. That means they'll change your oil and have you back on the road before you can count all the change in your center console. Cha-ching, baby. Just sit back and relax while their fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Plus, text seconds title with quick call 888-411-7640 for details. South Carolina's truck giant has gone where no one has gone before. Up to $12,000 off new Rams at JT's Dodgeland on Greystone. Big trucks, big savings. Up to $12,000 off. And where can you get 20% more for your trade? South Carolina's truck giant. Up to $6,000 more. And now get 2.9% for 72 months. Up to $12,000 off new Rams right now at Dodgeland. JT'sDodge.com. Black Friday sales event.
Get ready to ring in the holiday season with Gamecock fans of all ages at the Making Spirits Bright Holiday Pop-Up Experience at Williams-Brice Stadium, presented by Coca-Cola. Tickets are now on sale for this 3-night event, which begins on December 6th. Get your tickets today to join us at the Making Spirits Bright Holiday Pop-Up and experience the magic of the holiday season. Visit GamecocksOnline.com/holiday to learn more about the Holiday Pop-Up at Williams-Brice Stadium, December 6th through the 8th.
Christmas is here. Life matters. What makes you a success? Society often sends such confusing signals that it's difficult for anyone to know if their life is truly meaningful or not. A columnist wrote, "I'm so confused. Madison Avenue tells me that joy is a dishwashing detergent. My sin is a perfume, and the real thing is a soft drink. Does anybody know what really matters?" Well, the Bible claims to know the measure of success, and it's wrapped up in 3 words that are easy to remember: know, grow, and sow. Know, that's K-N-O-W, means that I've come to know my Creator in a way that generates purpose in my life. Grow means that I can continue developing the talents and abilities He has given me to benefit mankind. And sow, S-O-W, means that I sow into the lives of others, making investments into their lives, leaving the world better than I found it. Know, grow, and sow. It's a simple formula, but it works. Why not give it a try? This is Stephen Chitty, pastor of Christian Life. Remember, life matters, and so do you.
Welcome your guest into a healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 1075 The Game, and you will get $50 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroResColumbia.com.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
1075 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
I-20 eastbound and Longs Pond Road, an accident there. I-20 eastbound at 277, also a tie-up. I-77 southbound at I-20, that's exit 16. We do have a report of an accident. So be careful out there this morning, please. Partial sunshine, she says. 72 for the high today, 75 tomorrow, 75 for Saturday, the overnight low of 38. So really great football weather. Loving it. Right now, it's 52 and overcast on the early game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
Hey, this is South Carolina DQ Smith. You listen to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
The early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
Kansas and Illinois. Sounds like a great basketball game, Preston.
Coach Dakota's on the phone.
It's Illinois.
A lot of
at
corn. A lot of corn.
A lot of corn. Is Illinois known as the Corn State?
Oh, there's a ton of corn here.
Really?
And Jen Jensen.
There was a school south of us that we played, and they were called, the town was Hoopston, and they were the Hoopston Corn Jerkers. Can't make it up.
Ooh.
That's unfortunate.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$8 a.m. on a Thursday morning as we get you up and get you going. Football tonight on ESPN. We're hitting that portion of the season, Preston, where you get the Thursday football games. They can mean a little bit. They can have a little bit of meaning tonight, though. Well, not sure it's got all that much meaning. Boston College at Pittsburgh.
Pat Narduzzi and them boys.
Pat Narduzzi and them boys.
Yeah.
7 o'clock ESPN.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. Some of these midweek games can be tomorrow night, Colorado at Washington State, 10:30. Of course, you're also going to want to stay up for 11:30 Eastern time, South Carolina and DePaul. Yeah, that faces exactly what I was making as well. The Big Eyes, I don't know if we'll make it to that, maybe checking the score the next morning. Speaking of South Carolina basketball, you can get a lot of great content right now on Gamecocks Plus. If you haven't checked it out, if you haven't gone and subscribed, it's time to do it. You can get a great bundle. And joining us to talk a little bit about that bundle, there you go, Dakota. What a professional tease and lead in. How you doing this morning? Dakota Watson joining us.
That was decent. Not bad. I'll give you a B+.
Oh, B+. My goodness. I would have taken B+ in high school all day, like college, high school. I wouldn't bat an eye. I'd have been down in 5 points promptly afterwards celebrating a B+. So guess what I'll be doing after this. So, but tell us about what's going on. You have a really great deal going on. Number one, let's remind everybody, what is Gamecocks Plus? How can people sign up? What kind of content besides just seeing Jay Phillips and my pretty face each and every Wednesday night? What do you get with Gamecocks Plus?
That's true. So, yeah, we're the official content network for USC Athletics, as a reminder. We're tied into the Gamecock Club. So, we'll if you want to be a Gamecock Club member, you can sign up for us and you automatically get to be a Gamecock Club member. Or if you already are, then you get all of our content for free, which leads me to the Gamecock Trust Bundle, which is brand new. Really excited to roll this out. It was just rolled out this week, but it's just combining the three key initiatives at the University of South Carolina, which just rolls in the Garnet Trust with that as well in the NIL world. And I know right now in college athletics, a lot is being asked of the fans, frankly, but for good reason. So I don't think there's been a time that the fans ever really been needed more in college athletics. So we're just kind of combining all three of those things. You can be a Garnet Trust member, a Gamecock Plus member, and a Gamecock Club member, all for $20.01 for 2001 per month. And I think it's just a great way for a fan to just easily join all three of these things at one time.
Take us through, talk about some of the content that people get on there. Obviously, I mentioned the cocktail hour, kind of a weekly recap of all things Gamecock. Like last night, we obviously talked about women's soccer and their victory over James Madison. Looked ahead to the Stanford matchup on Friday. We talked about women's and men's basketball. And, of course, we covered football as well. So that's kind of the program that I'm affiliated with and that we do on each and every Wednesday night. It debuts at 8 p.m., and you can check that out. But there's a lot of other good things, including something I know you're really proud of called The Follow going on right now as it pertains to men's basketball.
Yep. So, and a good point, too. Our show last night was really good at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. Like you mentioned, the cocktail hour with you and Jay, and we're pumped about that. I'm happy with how that's gone so far. So I think, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, not so much with you, but Jay's done a great job.
Totally understandable.
No, it's been great. But, yeah, no, our Follow series is picking back up for the men's basketball season. Our first episode for that will drop here in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And it's basically just an all-access look behind the scenes with the team. We do long-form docu-series is basically what it is. And it'll kind of take you through the season. And we'll once we get our first one out, we'll do one every couple of weeks throughout the whole year for the season. And we've already done, 5 or 6, I think, really in-depth interviews to get that started. And I'm really excited to roll that out. I think there's a lot of new people on that team and a lot of really good, genuine people that Coach Paris has recruited to be on his team this year. And I think fans will be really excited to get to know some of these guys and who they are as people, not just, as basketball players.
You can go back and check out old episodes, and I bring this up because Preston, during your time at South Carolina, did y'all have a team barber? Who was it?
There were several
team barbers. You had options.
You got to have a couple options. Shout out to Dennis Quinn, one of my team barbers, D-line guy. Dondro Pickens was a very solid barber. Jermaine Lemon, the Newberry's finest. You got to have a couple of different barbers because somebody might be booked, somebody might be busy.
True.
And you always got to keep those guys well fed, stay on their good side, make sure that everything is on the up and up with them because you never know when you need a cut. So team barber is an extremely important person.
So I say this because one of the really fun, very what would you say, personal stories you have is on Dakota is on Mario Anderson. Y'all did a great job and talked about not just him as a football player, but his backstory as well. Talk a little bit about that. People can still go and check that out.
Yeah. So this year it's similar to our follow series, but it's called The Story for Gamecock football, and it does the same thing. We try to bring fans in and let them know who these players are, and I think that's definitely been one of the coolest parts of this job for me personally. But you've got a guy like Mario Anderson who comes in from Newberry and tore it up over there, and he's only been here for a few months, but he's made a huge impact on the field. Well, he's also made a really big impact in the locker room as well, just being a great guy. And one of the ways he's done that and gotten to know all of his teammates is because he's pretty much the unofficial team barber. And if you don't know, over there at the football ops center, they have their own barber shop, and it's a really cool setup. So we hung out with him for a little while while he was cutting hair and got to know his story and told all of his story. I won't tell you everything, so I want you to go watch it because it's awesome. But it was just really cool. He's got a cool backstory about how he started and how he got into cutting hair and how he pretty much cut the whole town of Newberry's hair at one point while he was over there. And it's just a lot of things about these athletes, and that's a great example that you would never really know until you've got to know them, and that's what we try to do.
Again, where is this streamed? How can people download it? How can people check it out?
Yeah, so GamecocksPlus.com is a website, so you can head there. Or if you have the South Carolina Athletics app, we're that big plus that you see in the middle bottom, so you can hit that on the app as well. We're also on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. I think I'm forgetting one, but
Android,
TV
right?
things,
Android, Roku.
You nailed it. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
all of those. So if you've got a smart TV, you can just search Gamecocks Plus, download that app, and then you can watch it just like any old streaming service that you have, and you just connect it through your phone. So all those ways, it's pretty simple to get a hold of us. And like we said, now we've got the Gamecocks Plus Trust Bundle, which combines the Garnet Trust, the Gamecock Club, and Gamecocks Plus for $20.01 a month. So if you ever thought about joining any of those three, now is the perfect time to join this bundle because you can get all three very easily for one payment.
And again, there's a lot of content. You can go back and check out even the older content from previous seasons. But going back to what we were talking about, Dakota, what has been one of the favorite, I guess, series? Because a lot of it's behind the scenes. Doc, for those that don't know, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't get anywhere else. What's been the favorite thing you've done so far?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Of course it is.
I personally, I got into this because I really just like the personal stories, and we've already named a couple. I've really enjoyed doing the film rooms with coaches and players. I think that's great insight to get after games. So I've really enjoyed doing those. And just, like I said, just getting to know everybody. I think, unfortunately we heard, Juju's season is over because of the injury, but we just released a podcast with him where he talked about how he wants to win a Nobel Peace Prize and change the world. Like, there's so many other things going on in these kids' lives that people probably don't even realize. So I don't know. That's been the most rewarding part for me.
Again, he is Dakota Watson, and you go check it out, GamecocksPlus.com. And again, Dakota, tell everybody how they sign up, or if they want to be a part of this Gamecock bundle. Again, as you mentioned it, getting Gamecocks Plus, being a Gamecock Club member, as well as being a part of Garnet Trust. Where can people just go to the website and sign up? Do they have to make a phone call? How do they do that?
Yep, so it's pretty easy if you just head to GamecocksPlus.com. Right now, you'll see it plastered pretty much all over the homepage. So it'll be pretty easy to find it and click on it there. But directly go to it. It's just GamecocksPlus.com/bundle. So either way there. But it'll just take you through. You sign up, and you can even start a free trial as well if you're skeptical of people like me, of course.
Well, that will leave us with our final question for you. What would be your end zone touchdown dance if you were to ever have scored a touchdown, or if you ever get one more opportunity in life in some kind of weird flag football league?
That's funny. I mean, I scored a few back in the day. It's been a while. I think I tried to whip out the old Aaron Rodgers, what is it called? The old discount double check. Was that what it was called back in the day? I don't remember if I got flagged for that one or not, but I definitely know that was not allowed way back when. But I don't know now, though. I'd have to really think of something pretty good because they kind of let you do whatever you want. So that's a tough one.
There you go. There's your next content. There's more content. Just get out there and get a bunch of interviews with players on touchdown dances.
That's good. That's not bad.
He's Dakota Watson. Again, check out it's GamecocksPlus.com is where you can go and learn more. Obviously, as Dakota said, it's all plastered all over Gamecocks Online as well. You can stream it on Android, Roku TV, or Fire TV, and a great deal right now. And again, reminder, you can see my pretty looking face as well as Jay Phillips. The cocktail hour, we did it last night from Williams-Brice Stadium. A lot of fun doing that, and appreciate Dakota having us. And well, good luck. Dakota, if you didn't know, he worked with us for a little bit, and he's really graduated and moved on up into the world, and now is the proud father of a 6 or 7 week old child.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't really slept since. I've got a 1.5, almost 2-year-old, and I was up till about 2:00 with a 6 or 7 or 8 week old, whatever she is. I don't know. It's the times are flying.
Yeah. So there's not many dates in your life, because one of the other conversations we've had this morning is things you can say on the football field that you cannot say on a date. And while I appreciate a lot of you weighing in, most of these are not readable on air.
Appreciate y'all service.
I'm not taking a stab at that one. Sorry, guys.
Also, something that you cannot say on a date. So there. Good luck with that. Dakota, you have a great day, buddy. Look forward to catching up with you later on.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care. GamecocksPlus.com. Again, check it out. There really is a ton of great behind-the-scenes content if you're a Gamecock fan. And whether it's basketball, men's or women's, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, a lot of things you want to check out there. 803-404-6100. We'll come back. We'll get into a little bit more coordinator discussion. What is the confidence from the Vanderbilt game? What could Clayton White tell you about confidence? This might be its own segment. What did Clayton White say? Preston Thorne translates when we come back. It's the early game.
Here are some cool, sweet deals to check out.
A $1,000 gift certificate from Mosley's Diamond Showcase. A $1,500 gift certificate from the Tile Shop. And a $1,500 gift certificate from the Guttermen for gutter cleaning.
Just go to 1075thegame.com and click on Sweet Deals to find out more. From The Game in Columbia, Myrtle Beach, and Florence.
Thursday is here, and that also means it's time for the weekend. If you're like me, once you get through Thursday, Fridays, really, you're there physically, but you're not there mentally. You're already thinking about the weekend plans, such as, grilling. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, and maybe you're already thinking ahead to your tailgate. Well, I tell you what, one thing you got to have for a tailgate is a great grill. And at Old Timey Meat Market, they have a fantastic line of Traeger grills they carry, and you can learn more about them. There's multiple sizes. There's smokers. There's grills. And if you're ready to fix that great dinner this weekend or have a great cookout for the South Carolina game or Clemson game, it's time to visit Old Timey Meat Market. Again, it just makes sense for a meat market to sell grills, and that's exactly what Old Timey Meat Market does. So go by. Check out a new Traeger grill today at one of the 3 locations, Irmo, South Congaree, or Lexington. Stop by Old Timey Meat Market today and tell them you heard here on 107.5 The Game with Bill Gunner.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory, and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Are you tired of getting stuck on the sidelines, feeling like you've been tackled by bad luck? Well, it's time to call in the MVP of towing services, Schroeder's Towing. Whether your ride needs a Hail Mary jumpstart or a fourth quarter tow, Schroeder's Towing has got you covered. We'll make sure you reach the end zone safely every time. Our team of expert drivers is always in peak performance mode, ready to deliver a touchdown of service 24/7. So don't fumble around with other towing companies. Call Schroeder's Towing today.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest bookers in town.
Plus, text title with click call 888-411-7640 for details. South Carolina's truck giant has gone where no one has gone before. Up to $12,000 off new Rams at JT's Dodgeland on Greystone. Big trucks, big savings. Up to $12,000 off. And where can you get 20% more for your trade? South Carolina's truck giant. Up to $6,000 more. And now get 2.9% for 72 months. Up to $12,000 off new Rams right now at Dodgeland. JT'sDodge.com. Black Friday sales event.
Hi, my husband and I own a small business in Columbia, and we ended up needing some help with some tax problems that we had and needed to get resolved. We initially owed about $300,000, and John Ecton and his law firm ended up getting us an offer in compromise, which dramatically reduced the amount owed. I would personally recommend the Ecton Law Firm. They did an excellent job for us, and if this is a concern that you're facing, they're definitely the people you should call.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
It's November at Galliana Chrysler Jeep on Greystone. No money down and no payments until February 2024. Plus, save $8,000 off every new 2023 Jeep Compass and Renegade, $11,000 off every new Jeep Gladiator, and $12,000 off every new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Plus, Galliana will get you out of your current lease or loan, even if you have months left or still owe thousands. So if another dealer asks you for any down payment at all, just say no during our November sales event. Drive home a new Chrysler or Jeep with no money down and no payments until February 2024. Every new 2023 Jeep Compass and Renegade, $8,000 off. Every new Jeep Gladiator, $11,000 off. And every new Jeep Grand Cherokee, $12,000 off. During the Black Friday sales event at Galliana Chrysler Jeep on Greystone. Call 779-7300 or GallianaSC.com.
Gotta go to Galliano.
No payments until February 1st with Tier 1 approval plus tax, tag, and 489 closing fee. Negative equity refinance subject to lender approval.
1075 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
And we're still working a couple accidents out there this morning. Broad River Road near Woodrow Street, also Two Notch Road at Longs Pond Road, I-77 southbound at I-20, that'd be exit 16, I-20 eastbound at 277, also I-20 eastbound at Longs Pond Road, and Highway 1 at I-26. We have a report of an accident there, so do be careful this morning. And we're looking for a high today of 72, 75 tomorrow, 75 on game day. It's 58 right now.
The Early Game with Bill Gunter
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
and Jen Jensen, your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 1075 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Yep. We're staying on business, John.
Missouri wins the break.
break.
We stand on business, Josh. That's your boy. Drink with.
He's not my boy.
It's your boy,
I
man.
declared a truce earlier in this year out of respect, but he's back.
Say truces can come to an end.
That's right. It was a ceasefire, and we're back. Eli Dorkowitz, you are a dork. Once again, I don't know if you ever left being a dork.
He's an 8-2 dork right now.
That's
though.
fine. He can win football games and call plays. That's not what we're talking about here, Bill. We're talking about this idea. Jen, can we play that clip one more time? Because it's so fast.
It is.
You don't even know what's happening here.
This is the post-game interview. The post-game interview.
Handshake.
Yep. We stand on business, John.
Missouri
wins number 8.
This was the post-game handshake where Eli Dorkowitz goes up to John Heupel.
Josh.
Yeah, him. And he walks up to him, and instead of looking him in his eyes and telling him, we stand on business, Josh, he patted his hand like this. He goes like this. He goes, we stand on business, Josh, and runs away. If I was Josh Heupel, I would have chased him.
Didn't Jim Harbaugh, who was the coach who did that for the Lions?
And did what?
Oh, I got to go back. Lions. I got to Google Lions handshake or something. Lions coach handshake. Was it? It wasn't.
I mean, there's always the handshake. There's always a potential for something to go down, because obviously we don't like it. We saw Mac Brown grab Shane Beamer earlier this year. I don't think there was anything nefarious going on, but it was funny.
Yeah,
But
this was
in this video particularly.
Sure enough, this was Jim Harbaugh. I forgot. Yeah, this was Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
12 years ago. And Harbaugh's jumping around with the 49ers. He's really fired up. Goes over, just fist pumping, slaps whoever the Lions coach was.
Jim Schwartz.
Mm-hmm. Just he's fired up, jumping around. 49ers have beaten them 25-19. The next thing you know, as this says, all bleep breaks loose as Jim Schwartz is now trying to get to Jim Harbaugh.
Exactly. But in this particular instance, Eli Dorkowitz goes up there, runs away, says, we stand on business, Josh, and then tries to run away without actually saying it. If you're going to say it, look me in my eye. And that's what actually standing on business would mean. You wouldn't be running away doing it.
As you say this, it really makes me sad now that divisions are going away, because I don't feel there's a lot of love between Shane Beamer, Josh Heupel, Eli Drinkowitz, and Mark Stoops. Poor Billy Napier is just trying to hold his own down there.
Boring Billy doesn't have nothing to say here.
Billy Napier is just trying to hold his own. Kirby Smart's just thumping the crap out of everybody.
It's everybody that's in the messy middle that's sort of stuck on there.
And then Clark Lee's just having it handed to him on a weekly basis.
Yeah. It's this. Not only did he not stand on business by not saying it to his face and standing there as the apropos of the word, but then you're trying to use all the kid slang, and you're not cool. Do not use kid slang when you're not cool. You are a dork. Do not do it. There is a certain point in all of our lives, myself included, when you have to stop using the kids slang. You just let them have that. But then we stand on business, Josh, and then you run away. I'm sad that this is the radio show, not a video, so that you all could see.
You're just saying Google it.
Google it and see how pitiful he is. Eli, you're back to being a dork. I'm done with you.
I personally,
these things happen.
I just thought that was absolutely amazing, and I was trying to find the right words or the right audio.
Thank you.
We really need to beat him at some point.
This is the problem, because I can't keep calling him dork and he beats up Brazy. That's not how this works.
We're gonna really need. But the more I think about this, Kirby Smart's just. I don't have time for you guys. I don't have time for the rest of you Eastern Division minions. Josh Heupel looks like Bobby from King of the Hill.
That's the best one.
Eli Drinkowitz. Who is Eli Drinkowitz out there? Who is Eli Drinkowitz? Who does he? 803-404-6100. Who is Eli
stand
Drinkowitz?
On business, Josh.
Then you got Shane Beamer. Then you got Mark Stoops, who's over there talking about shades and dancing around. Billy Napier would be just as annoying. It's just that he might not have a job next August. Like, Florida fans want to fire Billy Napier yesterday. They are not happy with it. They're losing recruits. They had a defensive lineman flip from Florida to Georgia yesterday. That top recruiting class is sliding. it's a mess with these coaches. This is like the Big Brother house where everybody does not like each other.
No, yeah, they don't, despite what they contrary to what they say.
Like Greg Sankey has to go into the meetings at Destin and put them in the four corners. Just go to that corner. Mark, Shane, you're over there. Eli, you're up here by me. You sit up here by me so I can watch your hands.
I bet Josh didn't even hear what he said until he goes back and watches. He's like, what?
Oh, it wasn't slow enough.
He didn't even say it. He didn't even look him in the eye and say it. Dork.
Stackhouse weighs in this morning. Eli equals Alf. I don't know. Alf was kind of cool. It's not run down Alf that way. But 803-404-6100. That's how you can join us. There's
this guy.
Preston's had enough of Eli Drinkowitz.
I tried. If you followed the trajectory, so I tried. I gave him a pass. I said, it's cool. I acknowledge that he can coach ball and he can call some plays. But that was just clownish behavior, man.
York says Drink could play on Big Bang Theory.
Relax. Big Bang Theory is a pretty solid show, so relax. I don't think he's cool enough to be any of my guys on Big Bang Theory.
803-404-6100. Brian Edwards, Vegas Insider, due up.
Brian, I hope you know what question we're going to ask you before we even get
He's
started.
a Florida fan. He'll probably be ready for it. We'll get to that. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Shi-Jen Jensen. It's the early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game.
We'll give away USC football tickets on Football Friday, sponsored by Carolina Honda Powerhouse.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach.
And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Do you spend more and more money each year trying to keep your house warm in the winter? Then it's time to call the team at Renewal by Andersen of the Carolinas. Right now, you can save $400 per window and $1,000 per door. FreeWindowAssessment.com. That's FreeWindowAssessment.com.
Plus, text and with proof. Call 888-411-7640 for details. South Carolina's truck giant has gone where no one has gone before. Up to $12,000 off new Rams at JT's Dodgeland on Greystone. Big trucks, big savings. Up to $12,000 off. And where can you get 20% more for your trade? South Carolina's truck giant. Up to $6,000 more. And now get 2.9% for 72 months. Up to $12,000 off new Rams right now at Dodgeland. JT'sDodge.com. Black Friday sales event.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service. Guy Gant's not with us anymore, but his girls are. Madison Gant just walked in. How you doing?
Doing great, Woody. How are you?
Good. Madison, I see your trucks everywhere for Pioneer Tree Service. Tell us some of the people you work with.
We've been very busy with residential and commercial customers.
So, Madison, you're doing the State House, Midlands Tech, City of Columbia, University of South Carolina. So you're going to want to call somebody you can trust, and that is the Gant girls at Pioneer Tree Service. And now there's a new little Gant girl, Dawson. We got all the Gant girls in the room.
We do tree removal, stump removal, tree pruning, tree trimming, tree thinning, tree cabling, and we will raise your tree canopy.
And no matter where you live, the Gant girls can get there. So, hey, Gant girls, how do they get in touch with you?
Call us today for a free estimate at 803-794-8253 or check us out online at pioneertreesc.com.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Have a passion for serving children and families? Apply to become a child welfare case manager at dss.sc.gov. This message is sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. No pressure buying. Best in class service. And a $1,000 low price guarantee. The season's always better in a Love Chevrolet. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Steven Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worry. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zerorez Carpet and Air Dug Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms cleaned for only $129 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
Gotta take.
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game. 107.5 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
It's still a little bit busy out there on the highways this morning. We see a Highway 1 at I-26. Also, I-20 eastbound at 277. An accident there. I-77 southbound at exit 34. There's an accident there. Two Notch Road at Longs Pond Road. We also have a report of a tie-up in Broad River at Woodrow Street. So do be careful this morning if you would. 72 for the high today, 75 tomorrow. Right now it's overcast and it is 57.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
On your home of the Gamecocks. In Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$8:32 on a Thursday morning. We'll catch up with Brian Edwards, a Vegas insider, here just in a few minutes. He has sent in his picks. I'll go ahead and give you this. According to FanDuel and according to DraftKings, FanDuel has Clemson right now 7-point favorite over South Carolina, and DraftKings has Clemson as a 7.5-point favorite next weekend over South Carolina. FanDuel at 7, DraftKings 7.5.
Okay.
So just a look ahead there, according to Brian. This is from Brian Edwards. He's already sent that to me, but just a look ahead to next week. Clemson -7 at South Carolina. He does have South Carolina at plus 235 on the money line. And again, DraftKings, that was FanDuel. DraftKings has the Tigers at -7.5. So that is the look ahead to next week. But it's time for this week's picks, and several to get to. And we'll start with one of the guys we were making fun of and another coach who is desperately trying to hold on to his job. Brian Edwards, welcome in this morning. How you doing? How you feeling?
Doing good, man. Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Good morning, sir.
Preston has a question for you.
Really quick before we get started, say you were given the chance to score a touchdown and you've made this monumental achievement. What would be your touchdown end zone celebration, sir?
What's that one called that Jalen Hurts was doing in the end zone last year? What's that one called? In the Super Bowl, what's that celebration Jalen Hurts
was
did?
Was Jalen Hurts one of the grittiest?
I feel like he was a gritty.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Okay. All right. So we got Brian Edwards for the gritty. Okay.
There you go.
That's right.
As I Google that very, very quickly. I don't know.
Hold on. If If not, I would do the Billy White Shoes Johnson. Y'all remember later?
Yes.
Back in the day?
We got you on that one. Yes, sir.
Yes, we've had both of those this morning.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go. All right, Brian Edwards off to a hot start, and all right, let's keep it rolling here. Let's start Missouri and Florida this weekend. You're very familiar with the Gators right now. This is a program that they're desperate. They're much like this program here in Columbia. They're fighting for bowl eligibility. Missouri this weekend, Florida State next weekend, and right now the Missouri Tigers and their head coach Eli Drinkwitz an 11-point favorite over the Gators, and you like both the spread and the over/under.
Yeah, I think Missouri puts it on my Gators on Saturday. They're 5-1 straight up at home this year. Their last 2 home wins, beaten Tennessee 36-7, South Carolina 34-12, and in between that, a respectable performance at Georgia where they cover the spread. In fact, they're 7-1 against the spread in their last 8, and the only non-cover, they were up by 4 on LSU with less than 3 minutes or less than 4 minutes left as a 6.5-point underdog. But LSU got that pick 6 after they scored and, for an improbable cover. But Florida 1-3 straight up and ATS in 4 road games, losing by 17 at LSU, by 19 at Kentucky, by 13 at Utah. And I mean, look, they just 2 weeks ago lost at home to Arkansas, who had prior to that lost 7-3 at home to Mississippi State, and after that lost 48-10 at home to Auburn. The Gators, had a number 3 recruiting class, which was kind of everything the fans were, pointing at in terms of, not getting too impatient with Billy Napier. But now they've lost 3 of those guys in the last 5 days. And I'm starting to think maybe the Gators will pony up $32 million if they get embarrassed the next 2 weeks and lose another recruit or 2. So you guys know me. That means I'm betting Missouri because I think they're going to put it on the Gators, but I'm also kind of rooting for that as well. And then let's also go with the over. The over has been a winner in 6 straight games for Florida, and the last 4 have had combined scores of 87, 75, 63, and 80. We're looking at 59 here. We've got Graham Mertz playing excellent football, 18-2 TDI-INT ratio. Brady Cook playing really well. So both offenses are doing well right now. Obviously, Mizzou had a really good defensive game last week, but I mean, I still think the Gators, are going to get at least, 21-24, maybe even the 27-28 range. And I think Missouri's probably going to score 40 or so. So, yeah, let's go over and Mizzou. If I had to pick one I like a little bit more, it's probably Mizzou.
Okay. And real quick, you kind of touched on this. The odds are Billy Napier's not being fired, right? Like, just odds are, right? Like, they're not giving up in year 2, right?
The $32 million is the only obstacle in my mind. And, because Florida just, spent like $85 million on a new football only facility, and they're about to do a $500 million renovation to the Swamp here in the next 2 or 3 years. So it's just the money that I think is the issue. I mean, I'd say the fan base is kind of split, but you get embarrassed at Missouri, and then you get embarrassed at the Swamp by FSU. And, it's not for sure both of those things are going to happen, but it's very possible. And we've lost 3 recruits from this recruiting class. I mean, the thing to defend Napier is this recruiting class, and now they've lost 3 of those guys in 5 days. If we get beat by 3 or 4 touchdowns this week, don't you think we might lose another recruit or 2? I mean, still got 6 guys in the top 100.
Yeah, they've still had it's right around the top 10 class. It's not like it's fallen off. Let's go to a few other games. Oregon State this weekend and Washington. What do you got there?
I said in mid-October that I don't know if anybody besides Georgia can win in Corvallis. And look, there's Oregon State 17-1, but straight up and against the spread. Their last 18 at home, only outright lost by 3 to USC last year. Their wins at home this year have been by margins of 45, 12, 14, 17, and 48. Washington has played 6 straight games that have been decided by 10 points or fewer. Those games have been decided by the following margins: 7, 3, 8, 9, 10, and 7. So they have had 6 games pretty much that have gone to the wire 6 weeks in a row. And now the 7th, they got to go on the road at a venue where Oregon State is 17-1 straight up and against the spread last 18. I think Oregon State hands Washington its first loss, and I won't be surprised if Oregon State puts it on them and wins by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Give me Oregon State. That's my favorite play of the week.
I'm just glancing very quickly. Corvallis. Have either of you ever been around Corvallis? I couldn't even tell you where Corvallis is in the state of Oregon.
Far.
Yes, far.
Yeah.
It's calling that. Of course, that's a 7:30 ABC game, so it'll be 4:30 their time. 90% chance of rain, high of 53. That sounds like Corvallis, Oregon weather. Like just
yes, and sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead. What you got?
Well, I think that weather favors the Beavers. I mean, they've got 2 excellent running backs, Damian Martinez and you guys, old guy, Deshaun Fenwick. So I think that completely favors Oregon State, the weather. But that's not the basis of my play. In fact, I had not even looked up the weather. But I like it even more now.
Yeah, 53 is the high, and then again 90% chance of rain. Friday night, Colorado at Washington State.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Colorado plus 4.5. I know much has been made, how after Colorado got off to the great start, they went over their win total in early, I think it was October 7th, if I'm not mistaken. But despite a 4-game losing streak, they've covered the spread 3 weeks in a row. They lose on a walk-off field goal to red-hot Arizona. They lose by 7 to Oregon State. These aren't shameful losses at all. And Washington State is really the team that's in a funk. They got off to the 4-0 start. They've lost 6 in a row, going 1-5 ATS. The only cover, they were 19.5-point road underdogs to Oregon, lost by 14. Cam Ward, Washington State's QB, he had a 13-0 TDI-INT ratio the first 4 games. They started 4-0. Since then, only 7 touchdown passes compared to 5 interceptions. Washington State's defense, they're ranked 112 in pass defense out of 133 FBS teams, 104 total defense, 103 in scoring D. I think Shedeur Sanders has a big night. I think Colorado wins outright. Give me the Buffs plus 4.5.
Going to the NFL, let's shoot through a couple of these. Ravens, Bengals this coming weekend. Over is the number. Excuse me, that's tonight. Ravens, Bengals tonight. What you got there?
Yeah, let's go over 46. I know the unders on these primetime games have hit at a ridiculous pace, and I think 11 in a row. But, Baltimore 3-1 to the over the last 4, giving up 33 to Cleveland last week. The over's actually 5-1 in the last 6 in this rivalry. The Bengals without one of their best pass rushers, Sam Hubbard, tonight. The Ravens, Marlon Humphrey, starting corner, is doubtful. 2 really good quarterbacks in Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. They played earlier in the year, week 2, 27-24 game for 51 combined. So I'm going to go over 46. Now, I know not all bettors, necessarily can get team totals, but if you can, I think I like Baltimore's team total over 24.5 the most. They've scored 31, 37, 31, and 38 in their last 4 since he gave up 30 to Houston last week. And Baltimore scored 27 at Cincy in week 2. And I'm not against over 12.5 on Baltimore's team total in the first half either.
803-404-6100. If you got any questions you want to try and get in here, about 2 minutes left. Going to this weekend, Lions and Bears. Oh, boy. What was it? Lions and Bears. Lions and Bears, oh my?
Lions, Tigers.
Okay,
and
Lions,
Bears.
Tigers, and Bears. All right, what do you got? Lions and Bears. Jen's Bears.
Okay, so sorry, Jen. Detroit is 7.5. I like the Lions. Let's buy that half point to the key number of 7. They're the Lions 7-2 straight up, 7-2 ATS this year, 3-0 straight up in ATS last 3 home games, beaten Vegas by 12, should have beat them by 4 touchdowns, beat Carolina by 18, beat the Falcons by 14. And, other than that hiccup against the Ravens, Lions 6-1 straight up in ATS the last 7 games, 5 of those wins by 12 or more. The Bears, They have lost road games by double-digit margins to the Chargers by 17, to the Chiefs by 31, to the Bucs by 10. I like Detroit. Let's buy the half point, get it to key number of 7.
Sounds good. Brian, we always appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of the week.
Y'all as well. Thanks,
Take
guys.
care.
Y'all.
Final segment up
Appreciate
next.
you, brother.
Here are some cool, sweet deals to check out.
A DTRT Roofing full roof replacement.
I was working on a podcast and all of a sudden looked over the clock. I'm like,
And concert tickets from South Carolina Philharmonic.
Just go to 1075thegame.com and click on Sweet Deals to find out more. From The Game in Columbia, Myrtle Beach, and Florence.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Joshua Dobbs has performed back-to-back miracles in Minnesota, where he didn't even know the names of his teammates, let alone Kevin O'Connell's playbook. The former aerospace engineering major appears to be having the time of his life with the playoff contending Vikings. I bet Cleveland sure wishes it hadn't traded him. Ditto, Pittsburgh and Tennessee. I'm Boomer Esiason.
CBS Sports
Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's. Right now, buy one DeWalt 20-volt max 4-tool combo kit. Get 2 select tools free. That's up to a $438 value. Plus, get up to 50% off select vanities, faucets, and shower heads. Shop in-store and online today because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 11/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime. Tonight, it's a clash in the AFC North when Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon, live from Baltimore. It's the Bengals and the Ravens on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's. Right now, buy one DeWalt 20-volt max 4-tool combo kit. Get 2 select tools free. That's up to a $438 value. Plus, get up to 50% off select vanities, faucets, and shower heads. Shop in-store and online today because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 11/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Enjoy Gamecock Football Saturday at Columbia Craft Brewing Company on Green Street. Whether the game is home or away, Columbia Craft can be your tailgate headquarters. Enjoy a tasty treat from their lineup of local food trucks with any of Columbia Craft brews. Locally owned and operated, the enthusiasm Columbia Craft drinkers have for game days is awesome. Be there each Saturday to experience a new kind of tailgating. Columbia Craft is proudly distributed throughout the Midlands by KW Beverage. To try some of the brews handcrafted in Columbia, go to kwbeverage.com and hit the product hunter to find locations.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-333-1750. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-333-1750, 800-333-1750, or biglou.com. The early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Oh, we have covered a lot of bases this morning. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. Friday show. Get you up, get you going, get you ready for Sandstorm, Darude, South Carolina football tomorrow. We will get into several other things. Chris Deering will join us for the high school highlights of the week. I do not know the score. I just know that you left last week, and I had to ask, and he took his shots.
That's fine. That's fine.
He actually, his shot was that Summerville is a veteran team, an older team. Berkeley's playing a lot of younger players right now. This is going to flip in about 2 years.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
That was yeah.
We're right here right now.
What was the final? Do you know? You know the score?
A lot to a little.
A whole bunch of points to not enough points, huh?
We're rolling.
So we'll get in another third round of the playoffs tomorrow night as we track towards state championship weekend.
This is the one, man. This is the biggest week for high schoolers for sure.
So it'll be fun. Yeah, final. It's amazing that a week from today, at this point, be waking up to maybe some nice butter pecan coffee. I like that smell in the house. The Christmas coffee, or not Thanksgiving coffee, and then you have the whole thing going. It should be a lot of fun a week from today, and it's amazing. We're wrapping it up right now.
It goes by quick. We told you it's gonna go by fast, and we're here.
Again, the football slate for this weekend tonight: Boston College and Pittsburgh. So at least you get two teams you're familiar with. I mean, it's a little bit better, I guess, than Buffalo and Miami of Ohio. By the way, Rashad Amos last night, 82 yards rushing.
I take that back. I might glance in because my old coach Googe, Dave DeGuglielmo, is up there at Boston College. I might peek in and check them out.
Boston College, Pittsburgh. Tomorrow night, I mentioned South Florida, Texas, San Antonio. 9 o'clock tomorrow night. 10:30 is Colorado and Washington State. Saturday, there's some decent. Tennessee, Georgia is going to be big. We'll get into the full slate coming up tomorrow. But other than that, you've got your two local games. Obviously, South Carolina, Kentucky's big for both teams. North Carolina at Clemson, real quick. North Carolina is kind of falling off here a little bit towards it. They were hot. They were in the top 10, or I think they got to 10. Who knew where they were going to go? And then they've struggled. They held on to beat Duke in overtime last week. But they're at Clemson 3:30 on Saturday on ESPN.
I'll be locked in on that one. I'll definitely be checking that one. That tends to be a very good game. Both teams are not having the season that they thought they were going to have for different reasons, I think.
Right.
But I think the trajectory of Clemson may be trending a little bit more up than North Carolina.
Feels that way. Again, you have some decent night games, but I don't know if anybody has any interest in them. Kansas State and Kansas is a ranked game. Imagine that. 25 versus 21. Kansas is number 25. Kansas State's number 21. And again, Oregon State hosting Washington in a rainy, cold Corvallis day.
Yeah, those are two very regional games. You expect Kansas State to be hovering around the top 25. Kansas is new to the party. Probably will pass on that, though.
Other than that, I mean, again, Texas, Iowa State, if you're into that. Georgia State is at LSU, by the way. Good luck, Sean Elliott. And
Ooh.
I don't think we've addressed this week. Sean Elliott's post-game rant from 2 weeks ago after their loss to James Madison, where Sean Elliott basically said, "We will not do that again." They did it again. They got that's one where going in and ranting and raving about your team and your players and not putting a finger on it backfires.
Yeah, it did not work, and I don't foresee this going well on Saturday.
Back-to-back 42-14 losses for Sean Elliott's group, and both of those were at home. It's not like you went on the road to Boone and lost a game. 42-14 to James Madison and Appalachian State. And again, all that discussion about press conferences and ranting and raving about your team and taking accountability did not go well.
Did not go well, and I think Jane Daniels might have some things to say about this next game.
He might be out by halftime, to be honest. Just go ahead and get him out of that game, get him ready for Arkansas. By the way, for those of you like, well, Appalachian State's really good. They're 6-5. App State was 5-4 prior to that game. They were 3-2 in conference. It's not like App State's having one of those App State years.
App State gets the benefit of years in the past where a lot of times people are, App State's pretty good. It's like, not all right.
App State is one of those teams where typically people that don't know if you're sitting in a bar, you're like, what do you think App State's record is? I don't know, 9-2. 10-1, I don't know.
For sure.
And 9 wins.
For
I don't know.
sure.
They were good. Don't want to play them. No, that's not this App State team. They did take North Carolina down to the wire earlier this year, but that's been about it for them. Again, tonight, South Carolina Clemson, women's basketball, Colonial Life Arena. Pregame will start on our sister station, 1320 a.m., and the game will be broadcast right here on 107.5. The Game. Big pickup yesterday for the Gamecocks. Joyce Edwards commits. No touchdown, no commitment. When will commitment dances start happening?
Somebody needs to start. Somebody needs to start this as a thing.
We've
I think that'd be great. How you're trying on the hat?
Drop the mic, and then just moonwalk across the stage, rip the shirt off or whatever, reveal an undershirt of your team. Yeah, why hasn't that been a thing? We'll try and make it a thing. We've already made South Carolina Kentucky a rivalry. We build on it tomorrow. Y'all take care.
107.5 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence.
Y'all take care. Have a great day. Trying everybody stay out of trouble. We'll see you in the morning.